allowed for me.
Hey Lance, did you know that? Did you know that Spectral Throw and Corrupting Fever do similar damage for this number of links you have? And if you don't put them in your main sockets, it's like playing Armageddon brand cremation without cremation.
We didn't even start and we are already starting drama. I love to hear that.
Just wanted you to know that. Just wanted you to know that.
Did you
I
know
can show you a POV if you
the
want.
gems
Did
in your
you?
POB are not guaranteed to be the amount of sockets you have when leveling up a character? And I'm starving for sockets? Like, what are you talking about?
But you don't. If you starving for sockets on Armor Crema, you don't remove Crema, right?
That's
I'm
not
out
what
of
you're
the
It's
loop.
okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's a learning process. It's a learning process. It's fine. I just wanted him to know that.
Oh,
He did a whole leveling process with half the damage of my build.
uh-huh.
But you still did it.
I still did it faster than you do it, so shut the hell up, right?
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Come on.
we are getting we're getting feisty. We haven't even started.
It's not like he's gonna get butthurt about it.
Oh. Okay, we got
so what up, dude?
pre-podcast trash talking. So let's start with the intros to PoBcast number 3. This time we have CaptainLance9. You want to introduce yourself quickly? What do you play? What builds? What league? What do you do in PoE?
I play softcore trade, and I'm gonna be league starting Pyroclast. Is what I'm gonna do for Trial Ancestor. Trying to basically full go into Hexblast for Sanctum because I like Sanctum and Sanctum League, and I'm curious to see how the changes with the rares and the distance, and if there's gonna still be a Hillis run and stuff go.
Okay. What's Manni planning?
I'm Rue. I'm a human, and I play softcore trade or whatever I feel like playing at the time. I'm probably gonna either league start Ignite Melee or Corrupting Cry. Please. Impending Doom or something. Whatever I feel like, whatever POB I make that's good from the new support gems, I'm doing it. I don't care.
Please tell me the Ignite Melee is Chieftain. Please tell me it's Chieftain.
If it's, we have some plans. We do have some plans for Chieftain.
I want to see your great Chieftain build so bad.
We have some plans for Chieftain. We do. They're not great. I'm gonna
plans
admit that they're not
great. See the light of day.
I'm gonna admit that they're not great, but you know, for Ruthless Ascendancy and regular PoE, it's somewhat okay for Ruthless Ascendancy and PoE and main PoE. But anyways, that's Amru, and I'll pass it on to Manni now.
I think Ventrua was muted on Discord. We didn't hear anything.
Oh.
So that's why Rue took over.
Oh, my bad. Sorry about that. I was asking Manni, and then Rue started talking. I'm like, who asked this kid to talk?
Oh, dude, we didn't hear that, right? You guys didn't hear that?
Yeah, that's my fault then.
I didn't hear it.
It was just silent, so I just said I'll go next.
Yeah, same for me. So yeah, I'm Manni. I usually play softcore SSF. I've been playing pretty much only bows in Crucible, so I decided to make a guide for bows. So I'll have to play it again because now that I made a guide for it. So we'll start bows again next week, but I'll promise to play some other builds this league for sure, surely. And yeah.
So let's start talking after the intro. Let's start just talking about the patch straight up, right? How did you guys feel about the? Sorry, but
introduce yourself, Ventrua.
Okay, listen, I'm Ventrua. I play hardcore trade because fuck SSF. The race sucks, and I'm gonna play DD like every league because I have no imagination on how to play builds. I think that's enough. Actually, I wish I could play Seismic, but GGG deleted Sabo last patch. So let's start talking about this patch. Speaking of patches, how did you guys feel about 3.22 and the changes we got, and most of the changes we didn't get?
Honestly, I was not surprised at all. That's exactly how I imagined the patch notes to be.
I personally expected, because like the way they talked, that there's gonna be actually a lot of changes. And there still could be a lot of changes due to the support gems, but they did the mistake of not really giving us any information, right?
I mean, did they announce anything? I feel like if there were any like big reworks or balance changes, they would have announced them at ExileCon, right? It's a selling point.
Yo, I'm excited to sell. I am super excited. I think a lot of people are less excited right now because we don't exactly have the numbers on the support gems itself. But I think once the gem information drops, like our pants are going to drop. It's going to be great. Like everyone's going to be on PoB trying to make their new build, and I think this is what the game needs: an influx of new builds and new things to play.
You think they're all gonna be very powerful? We're all gonna use them if we can somehow fit
I
them in.
hope so. I hope so. I feel like there's some of the support gems sound really cool, and I really want to play something new. So I'm hoping for the best, right? I hope they come out powerful. And I don't mind if I always like things to come out a little bit more powerful so people like play it, right? And they can always
Yeah.
nerf it later. I don't like it when they make things, they come out really bad, like Chieftain, and they just leave it in the game and it just gets like put there for like 2 years and they don't touch it again. I don't like it when they do that. But I'd rather them be nerfing things than to just leave things that are like unplayed alone for a long time.
I'm actually really worried that most of them are gonna come in unplayable. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just too skeptical, but okay, I guess we could just go through the support gems and talk about which one we think they are gonna be good. Because I
Sure.
am afraid that most of them are just gonna be straight up unplayable.
Eh,
So let's start with sorry for interrupting you. Let's start with Control Blaze. Like, do you guys think that will actually be good?
I mean, do we know how it works yet?
So they said that it's gonna be less damage for each. For each ignite inflicted with this skill recently, you deal less damage but more ignite damage. It doesn't specify attack damage. I don't know if GGG forgot or if that's intentional. We did a little bit of math and it technically could work even without it being hit damage, and you would have to like manage how many stacks you have, which would make sense with the Control Blaze name. But I talked to Quantric and he thought it's gonna be insane numbers, but I think it's gonna be awful, personally. It's gonna be like Vow Toxins or whatever that gem is. Like, do you guys play?
I think it has a chance to be great. I think if they don't put a cap like on Voltoxins, it could lead to like really cool builds like, Blade Storm or Molten Strike taking over the Ignite scene with like a proc from Towel or Ruthless procs, giving you the 100%. I think it has a chance of being good. I'm not gonna say it's good before the numbers come out, but there's definitely builds in the game that can use that support gem as described if they don't do like 6 max hits or 5 max hits and stuff like that.
What do you think? Are you planning to use it or anything? Have you like theory crafted with it?
I mean, my opinion about all these support gems is like we just without the number, it doesn't freaking matter because it's like it could be good if the number's good. If the number's bad, it's gonna be bad. My prediction is it's gonna be not capped on stacks. It's going to be capped based on the less damage thing. Like it's gonna be like the name Controlled Blaze, where it's like 50 stacks is peak value. 51 you start losing value. 52 you start like something like that is what I'm betting it's gonna be like.
I agree, except I think the number of stacks is gonna be like 5. Like, I think it's gonna be very strong, but I think the number of stacks where you gain full value is gonna be very low. Where they expect you to hit either very slow or very few enemies and then pro-live.
Do you guys think, like, or do you guys know if you pro-live in Ignite, would it count as an Ignite inflicted by that skill?
What do you mean?
I mean, I say I shoot a fireball and I hit one enemy and I ignite him, but then I pro-live to 100 other enemies. Have I now inflicted 101 ignites with fireball or just one?
I think
For
it
the sake
just
of this
carries
game.
over the same stats of the first ignite based on the radius of the prolif.
So it would just be one ignite, right?
Yeah. I think.
What? I don't get the question.
Basically, he's
Sorry.
asking whether pro-living to an enemy counts as inflicting ignite to the enemy. Or the skill inflicting the ignite to the enemy.
It's ignite, a single ignite's an aura, right?
Yeah,
It's
so I
just an
don't think it
aura,
would count
basically.
as an extra. Like, I think that would work with Control Blaze the way Manni is describing it.
But that fireball is gonna hit like all. You have to use like a different scenario because like Fireball is literally going to hit all of them.
Sure,
anyways,
you just have
because
it
Yeah,
strike.
okay.
Have it strike ignite or whatever, right? I think this skill is gonna be not what people expect. I expect this to be like the name suggests, control blaze, where you just have to attack very slowly or hit very few targets, and then it's gonna be good, and otherwise it's just gonna be really bad. But maybe I'm completely wrong on this.
All right, listen to my theory about controlled blaze real fast, right? This is my theory. You know how like when you have a child and that child's like messed up, you try again and then you try it for a better one. Well, control destruction is so messed up right now. I think control blaze has to be what GGG uses to make up for control destruction.
Well, and
What
on
the
that
hell is that
note,
example?
let's just move on that note.
Good theory.
The next gem is Corrupting Cry. I think this gem is gonna be undertuned as hell. And I say this because it works basically exactly like DK does, right? And I think it's gonna be balanced in a way where it's only gonna be good with Shaco. I don't know if you guys disagree, if you feel like it's gonna be good, but it basically works in a way where you have to support it to different skill, right? So it's already -1 support gem. And it's pretty much exactly DK functionality, no? Like I don't know if like Ru or Lance theory crafted with it. I don't know if
I mean, the
Manni.
other skill that's like it is the freaking prismatic burst, right? A little bit, but I kind of agree with you. I think it's gonna be probably trash, balanced around Shaco.
I mean, don't you often struggle to even find 5 support links for Corrupting Fever, though? So, like,
Yes.
losing a link here isn't really a big problem.
That is true, I guess. If it had like slightly bigger damage than Corrupting Fever, it could actually be good. Even if they like apply, like it's gonna be probably harder to apply this than Corrupting Fever, right? Because you don't have as much control.
Yeah,
wonder
unless you
if-
link like multiple Warcries, so you have more cooldown available.
So
I
I
wonder
thought
if
about it a
War
little
Cry
bit.
effect would increase the damage of the stacks.
Well, I saw on the video, so it doesn't reduce the cooldown of the Warcry at all. I don't think because it looks just about the same as a normal Warcry. So I think you actually have to use exerts to apply the corruption from the support gem itself. So I guess the best skill to use here in this situation would probably be something like Static Strike, where you can exert and the rest of the strike would just keep corrupting the thing. It's a support gem. It can't be scaled with gem levels, and it obviously can't be scaled with flat. So the numbers on the skill has to be like giga high for this thing to be usable. I mean like giga high. But the problem with it being giga high is it's no longer like really scalable with gem levels. So even if it comes out giga high, it's still going to be kind of shit later. So I don't know where it's going to end up. I hope it's something cool where like they did something with it where I don't know, spell damage freaking scales.
What people
I
are
don't know.
suggesting is that because it's a Warcry skill, the amount of corrupting blood you inflict could be based on Warcry power. So like if you have enough enemies around, it could just insta-inflict 10 stacks, which would make it pretty good, at least for clear. Then you wouldn't need to use like Static Strike to inflict and just scale like Warcry, cooldown recovery, and cast speed, and just rotate Warcries. Well, I guess you couldn't really rotate Warcries because you'd have to have everything connected or linked together.
Yeah,
You have
that's
three different
what-
4 links.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Because you can't really put like 4 links or 4 different Warcries on that same support. So you would have to like use that support, use the Warcry to I don't know hit big packs, and then use like a separate skill to apply the Warcry, right, with an exerted attack. I think that's meant to be used as a with an exerted attack and not just spamming Warcries. Because if it did, then I don't know. But I do think there's something like the initial power of the Warcry, or the initial or the initial damage that's going to be applied to the exerted attacks or from the Warcry itself is going to be based on Warcry power. I do think that.
I think it's gonna be stacks, not the damage. Because if it's the damage itself based on Warcry power, wouldn't it be balanced around having like it would probably be capped, but still like Red Blade banner, maximum Warcry power always. Because otherwise it would just deal like 0 DPS otherwise, no?
We don't know.
Yeah, I guess we
We'll have
don't
to
know.
see the
I
GM.
hope it's good. I hope it's good. I hope it's scalable, right? I think we all hope that.
I
so
mean,
we
you
can
play
play
SC
something
trade,
good.
you can buy a Shaco. Surely you make a build with it.
I mean, Impending Doom is a support. It's not balanced around Shaco, right? You can cap out all your damage without it, even with the temporal chains nerfs. So
That's fair.
I don't know.
That's
I
fair.
think it has some hope, dude. I think it has some hope.
I hope it does. It's so sad that we get gym info so late, man. I remember when we used to just get gym info and patch notes like both 3 days into the league, but before the league, and then like in a way it felt more complete. Now like we get the patch notes, and there's basically nothing, and all the changes we are getting like 3 days before the league, anyways.
Wasn't that just because we didn't get patch notes till really close to the league, anyways?
I
we
guess
get
it's
patch
very
notes
much
sooner
true.
than we used to.
No, we get patch notes like 8 days from the league start, like every time now, right? Like the last 5-6 leagues.
Usually when the announcement hits, right?
Yeah, during
Which
like
is
the
a week and a half
announcement
or something before.
Yeah, but the gem info has always been like a few days after that.
Yeah, that's usually late.
Yeah, I guess the problem is that the gem info is the patch notes now.
Did it come with the patch notes at some point?
Sorry?
Did it come with the patch notes at some point?
I think so. When the patch notes was like close to the release, I'm pretty sure it came at the same time or like right after each other.
Like I know they'd have like the numbers if they're like buffing and nerfing gems and stuff, but I thought they still did like the actual gem teasers with new stuff later. Like where
Maybe
they had
I'm
like the pictures
misremembering.
and everything.
People are saying it was day later, so I'm just talking out of
Yeah, it
out of
used
my
to
ass.
be usually like Thursday gems and like Wednesday patch notes. Or like, New Zealand time.
Classic chieftain apologist, misremembering things.
Listen, just because I rated Chieftain 2 out of 10 doesn't make me a Chieftain apologist, okay? 2 out of 10 is as bad as Diablo 4. Like, keep that in mind. Like, that doesn't mean that I think it has any use.
Yeah, and it's the best-selling game ever.
Fair,
Wait,
fair.
so you're saying Chieftain's going to be the most played class ever with that
Play
statement?
to see this league.
Possibly. Just wait for the builds, man.
Everyone is gonna try to prove people wrong about Chieftain, and suddenly they will discover something OP, and it's gonna become the best skill. Or the best ascendancy.
I think it's gonna have some initial hype because people like new things, and then it's gonna crash down to 0.1% below Gladiator.
Okay, if you were to make a prediction, do you think at the end of the league on PoE Ninja Chieftain is gonna be higher or lower than it is right now?
Lower, 100%.
Isn't it already last place?
No, Gladiator is.
Right now,
It's 1%.
latest snapshot on Crucible League is 0.9%. And Guardian 0.8%. Do you guys think either of them is gonna be played more? Because I'm afraid that both of them are gonna be played less.
I think Guardian's gonna be the same.
I guess maybe the same is reasonable. Guardian is
Yeah, I think
hard to
it's
say as
obvious.
well. It's the same problem as support gens where you just don't exactly know what it does.
Yeah, what the hell do those minions do, man? Come on.
It's
Who knows?
confirmed that
Maybe
they're
those minions are OP
support
and
minions,
Guardian
right?
becomes like.
He might be jacked.
It's a shame that they cannot be like actual damage minions because they come as level 20 and you cannot link them, so it just has to be support minions. Or like utility.
What if it's like supported by links in your body armor and it's actually cracked and you put it on at level 30 and it just destroys until freaking until red maps or something?
There's like no
Then
way
we'll
they're
get a
doing
bunch
that.
of Kriparian videos.
It'd be
Right.
so unbalanced.
I mean, keep in mind that they didn't nerf those minions for Ruthless. Right? So like, how can they actually be good for the base game?
You gotta warrant your expectations, yeah.
You are depressing me, sir, by saying that. You just made that statement, and my logic just kicked in, and now I'm depressed.
Okay, let's talk about stuff that they didn't nerf for Ruthless then.
On the flip side, they gave Inquisitor Sandstorm Visage, so there's hope, right?
They made Inquis and Berserker better in Ruthless, Panda. Or like at least Berserker they actually made better than in the base game, I think. It has like explosions now. For some reason.
Wait, what? I
Yeah.
didn't even see that.
What the hell are you talking about?
Let me read you the sentence, okay? Berserker. Warbringer. No longer provides war cries, give rage, whatever, no one cares, right? What it does now
That's an
is
important thing. What do you mean no one cares?
nearby corpses explode when you war cry, dealing 10% of their life as physical damage. And war cries exert one additional attack. Like, why is this
What?
a Ruthless patch note? And we don't get this
Wait,
in
can
the
I
base
have
game?
that?
Yeah, exactly. I wish. Like, it's
Are you
actually
guys out of your
cool.
minds?
Like, I don't understand why Ruthless actually gets like a straight up rework where you can use Warcry instead of DD, but we have a Warcry that buffs like slams. Like, who plays slams?
Wait, that's actually really good if you use it with Warcry shield. That you just rotate Warcries and then like everything you kill just explodes, and
Yeah,
then that's kind of cool, dude.
you can
get
scale
an
it too,
endurance
right? Like, you
booster.
can scale it with poison, you can scale it with like Herald of Ash, explosions, and whatnot.
Yeah,
Did you
If
no,
you-
guys?
that's a
Did you
100.
guys get my copium dealer? Like, what the hell's going on?
True
The
logging into
Ruthless
Ruthless.
Berserker, they reworked it. Warbringer doesn't have like the they didn't want to give Warbringer more damage anymore because they felt like it was too much damage for Ruthless. So they made it an explode. But I can really care about. I mean, Warbringer's still good in softcore. I don't know, but why didn't they just give this ability to like Chieftain instead of the like 3% or 5% chance to explode?
Wait,
This is like a
actually,
way
true.
cooler ability.
Why don't
Am I the
Chieftain
only
get that?
person that finds the 5% explode super interesting?
I find
Like
it interesting
500%?
for Delph and Simulacrum specifically. I think that's the reason why I gave Chieftain 2 out of 10 instead of 1 out of 10.
I can't wait for your simulacrum build where you can't kill monsters and then die because you can't get your chain explosion to go off.
But how do you die as Chieftain? You have like Giga Res, and the monsters only have like 15 pen or
You roll
something.
10. That rolls in simulacrum.
I
10
know.
is a thing.
I know. It's fine, okay? You're gonna be tempered by war, so the pen doesn't even affect you as much unless it's exactly fire damage.
It's generic pen. I'm pretty sure it's generic pen.
Is it? I
Maybe
thought it was
maybe it's
specific.
like fire pen with gain is fire or something.
Yeah, I think it was specific. I mean, I think it's very niche and very like cheesy, but I do think it has its own use. Like, it's better than other Chieftain nodes, which I guess doesn't say much, but I think it's the most interesting node. I mean,
I mean, would you guys have preferred if it was another explosion with like the same kind of values as Glad and Occultist, just because it's good?
Yeah. I think I don't want a bland one, but I think this node nearby corpses when you nearby corpses explode when you Warcry, dealing 10% of their life as physical damage, and Warcries exert 1 additional attack. That is cool. If they put that as the Chieftain node, I wouldn't even complain. I think there's builds to be built around it. I think it's really, really good when you use stuff like Infernal Cry and like a lot of fire builds. Right? And just other war cries in general. I think that's a really, really good node. I like it.
I mean, if that was like on Chieftain and it dealt fire damage, you could actually inflict some serious ignites with it. And it would kind of function in a similar way. I guess it's only 10%, so it would basically just be another DD, but still, like, I feel like it's pretty cool.
It's a DD with no links though.
I mean, sure, but so is Infernal Cry most of the time, right? And it's still very impactful, at least while mapping.
Wait. It's a DD with no links, but it explodes all the corpses. So can you just it's so in Ruthless, can't you just Arcanist brand DD and just fucking spam all your war cries until like shit just dies? It's 10%. It's huge.
Or you mean Desecrate?
Yeah, or yeah, just have like Arcanist brand, spam Desecrate on a boss, and just freaking spam like piano your war cries until the boss dies. I would think it would do plenty of damage.
Okay, I guess
because
think of it this way.
You're exploding every single corpse.
Would you rather have no linked Val DD with no cooldown? Or would you rather
That's
have
what it is.
DD with like 4 links? I think you would rather have no cooldown on Val DD and just spam it.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's more damage.
Yeah,
it's 100% more damage.
I think this is actually cool. Like, this node would actually be like build enabling.
Fucked up.
Can we get a soft commit from you guys to build Ruthless with that?
I'm not logging into Ruthless to play Berserker.
You'll never get a soft commitment from me playing Ruthless, lads.
Yeah.
You've been trying for leagues and leagues. You just want me to be miserable.
I figured
You'll
you guys
never
don't want to
be
back up anything you say. Makes sense.
No, but it's, dude, if that mod was in normal PoE, I would league start that. I guarantee you I would league start it. I think it's cool. Like you can desecrate. You can.
Yeah,
it's like
sure.
it's like playing.
I'm
DD,
sure
right?
you would.
I would do it because it's
Yeah.
new. I would.
I
Put
mean,
my
you
hands
don't need
in
links, right? Ruthless, you won't have the links, so it won't matter. But you can just pack on that node, and it'd be a good build, I'm sure.
You realize this is probably making it into base game next week, right? When they do Berserker rework, and you actually stopped committed to doing it in the base game.
Wait,
by saying
that's
that.
cool because you
Rest
get
in
40%.
peace.
You get 40% more damage from the Berserker Ascendancy anyways, right?
Well, 25 in Ruthless, but yeah, if they bring it to
25
base
in
game,
Ruthless.
it's gonna
It's
be
still
40.
good.
I think if it actually makes it into base game next week or something for some Berserker rework, I think it would be cool. I think people would actually try to build stuff around it. Because you can
Well,
spawn
dude,
some big corpses with like a nerf in base game.
listen, Lance. We get the Warcry shield where we cycle Warcries and an Arcanist brand. We put the Arcanist
I do
brand. and
like the
it's
way of
Warcry.
automating it with Warcry shield.
Yeah, you just automate Warcries while having an Arcanist brand, and you just go on the boss and you just stand there. You don't even press buttons, and the boss is gonna die. It's a 0-button build. My shit is insane. Oh my god, I would play it instantly.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds
play
good.
it
You should
instantly.
boot it up in Ruthless.
I'm never gonna
Oh,
find that
whoa.
shield in Ruthless. Any Ruthless enjoyers? I just made your build of the league.
Yeah,
Thank you,
type
Well, it's
Lance.
gonna
login
take
if
one
you're a
league to
Ruthless
find the
enjoyer.
shield.
Oh, there's so many logins. I see at least 2. That's way more than I expected. Did you guys realize that we just spent talking like more time about Ruthless than the actual support gems? Isn't that kind of sad? I mean, I guess
Because it
that's
has
like
a
the patch
number,
notes.
man.
It's proportional to the patch notes.
But they made an interesting mod in Ruthless. They made an interesting ascendancy that's like build enabling. Well, in the base game where we're supposed to get these build enabling things, they gave us 5% chance to explode. So yeah, we should talk about it, right?
I mean, I think if they test stuff in Ruthless and they bring it over and it makes sense, I don't mind it too much. But it is weird that Ruthless is getting more updates than the base game. It is kind of weird. I mean, it's the
not
reason
sure.
why Reddit is pissed off, right? Because
I just don't like that they explode on Chieftain gets all the hate when there's this nearby enemies have no fire as when you're stationary for a minute node, and this jewel node those are so fucking bad compared to the explosion.
I hate those nodes too. I didn't say any of them were good.
Yeah, but like the
We
Expo
started
node
on
is like
Chieftain,
the
I will.
second best node on Chieftain. Like, sure, it's bad, but it's like the second best. The stationary node, I don't know what like. If you remove the word stationary, it's still bad. That's
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Like, how would you guys fix that node? Like, there's no fixing of like. I mean, I guess it could be no stationary and -20 fire res or something, or stationary -20. But like,
I mean, it would be okay without the stationary, I think.
No,
It's like
even
a
with that,
two-pointer.
even with the stationary, it literally makes you deal less damage.
I mean, you would build around it differently. You would
Yeah,
build like punishment, curse.
Yeah, you
stuff.
just pretend you don't have curses and.
Give it these different curses, but I mean, you use
Okay,
the
let me put it this way:
resist
you
curses for
grab
reason.
punishment and you grab a different anoint versus a build that doesn't take that ascendancy and build that takes the correct curse flame ability and grabs additional curse, LA weakness. The one that didn't grab the ascendancy is better.
Yeah.
If it
you're
didn't
right.
have stationary, I think it would be a good node because could play like lazy mode. Because the problem with like Elementalist Ignite right now, right, is just like you need 2 curses, you need your exposure, you need like convergence, you need all your things to line up to do damage, and it's a pain in the ass, right? If you can get that if you skip a lot of that process, I'm down to lose 30% of my damage, so I don't have to worry about any of that stuff, right? All of these buttons, I'm okay with that actually, and I could just like slap on like a freaking like a mark on hit or something or a curse on hit, and yeah, I think it actually is like okay if it didn't have stationary, but with the stationary and it affects like dots and stuff like that. I feel like it's a very big nombo in the ascendancy itself, so it's kind of poopy.
What if it was more damage while stationary? Would that be okay? Like, do you think that would be okay? Let's say 50%.
That would
more
be
damage.
interesting at least.
I think it's fine if the buff is actually like stationary is a huge downside. If they give it something that's like actually like, okay, this is a big upside for me standing still. Let me build into that. But like,
Imagine the
it's no
playstyle
damage.
too. You would try to stand still as often as you can, right? Like you actually have to
Yeah.
actively play the game then and like make decisions when do I want to stand still to maximize my damage. If it's like 30 or 40% more, that sounds good. And
Yeah,
fun.
if they need to make a stationary like node in Path of Exile, it needs to be really good. Like the node needs to be like something like while you're stationary, you become Ben underscore and have the most skill in the game and just like destroy the game.
See,
Like it has to be like something like extravagant or something. You just like it transforms you, right? It's like transformative. Like, because no one wants to stand still or
Yeah, but
something,
here
right?
comes the problem. When you are standing still, you and Ben are the same type of player. You guys play the same way if you are both staying
Oh,
stationary.
shit.
That's the
Oh,
problem.
man.
Like, that's the whole problem with the whole stationary mechanic in
True.
PoE. The good players are good because they don't play stationary.
Oh, shit. Damn. Oh, man. Now I feel dumb. Thanks, Ventrua.
Well, I mean, it's like you're stationary to deal damage, and the second you need to move to the correct location, you have the decision making of Ben, and then you click the button, and you're not Ben while you're in the mid-air with the leap slam, right?
fair. I mean, I think if you're gonna build stationary stuff, it should just be OP straight up. Like, if you wanna go with the direction, and same for channeling skills, I think if you're gonna stand still and hold right click on a channeling skill that doesn't work otherwise, I think it should be OP. Like, I think all these like flame blasts, all these blights, all these like scorching rays should just deal like 50% more damage than deal right now.
But you can just put a totem on it, right?
Well, then it does 50% more damage if you cast it.
Yeah. You have to put like some downside.
Like we had that before, right? When they did the self-cast patch, they like buffed everything and nerfed totems and traps and whatnot. So like they can do that if they want to. It's just like I don't mind standing still if I'm rewarded for it. It's just right now you don't even get rewarded, which is the annoying part about it. I don't know. I think the Ascendancy's rewards were like the biggest letdown of this patch for me because it's like
But
those are not gonna get changed probably anytime soon, right?
question to
I
the
agree.
Trade League enjoyers here. How expensive is Valako Forbidden Jewel going to be? Is it going to be the most expensive one in the game?
No.
We did some aura stacking POBs yesterday. It looks okay, right? It looks better than like normal Spark now, but it's still not good enough where you would, invest like hundreds or thousands of divines into an aura stacker this league. It's like okay, but it's not
Is
going to
it
be
better
anywhere
than the
near.
base ore stacker, like as an ascendant?
Yeah, it is. Way better.
Are you
It is.
serious? You think it's way better
Yeah.
than an ascendant?
Yeah, it is. Bro, melding is -4 res, so they have to like go way over aura effect to get the 4 resistances. It's like 80 over, right? So they have to like use voices and stuff like that to like so many to even cap res to get the damage from Nebulous. And on top of that, they need to make up all of that res from like negative to 90, right?
Yeah,
Through
but they have an ascendancy
well,
that does damage. Like
well,
passives
Juggernaut
are
just
so
makes
important
everything.
with ore
But
stackers.
okay. Juggernaut just makes your whole ascendancy that tanky where you can just put more points in the damage, right?
The problem
Without having to put
is
more.
I feel like Aura Stacker already has enough tankiness always.
Yeah.
It usually
Uh,
struggles with like damage or speed.
Old Aura Stacker does. New Aura Stacker does not.
I guess I don't know how the current one looks, that's fair. I only saw like armor stacking.
Well, I look forward to seeing this Juggernaut ore stacker.
I heard that PoB
I
got
have a hard
deleted.
time seeing it.
Is that true though? You wanna comment on it? I heard that PoB got deleted, that it wasn't good enough.
It was like okay. I wouldn't say it's like a great build, but people had POBs where Spark was like 20 something million, right? 24 million in like in-game POBs, which is like equivalent to like 75 million DPS for Spark in like arenas if they get enough projectile speed and duration. Which is like 70 million with 90 res and Juggernaut damage reduction is not a build to snooze at, right? You're immune to stun, you have endurance charges, you have like big regen from your nodes. Um,
I mean, what's the
like
investment level?
it's pretty high. It's like Mage Blood level end game POB, right? For that.
Is it
But
like one
75 million
passive
is like,
voices or 5 passive
huh?
voices? Is it like one passive voices?
No, it's like 3 passive voices. Not
Okay.
like something like extremely crazy. But it is an
So
end
it's
game POB.
doable.
It's doable.
I
It's
just
it's
think
like
that the problem is like
it's
how
not an
many people would
RPG.
put this together or want to put this together, right? Like it's just if that's the only use, that's kind of sad.
I mean, I wasn't even thinking of aura stackers when I asked. I figured there's just so many like min-max jugs, the aura stackers and armor stackers and strength stackers and whatever there is, accuracy stackers. Wouldn't a lot of them like getting 90 res as well? I figured.
But it has to compete with like if they just want to grab Berserker's aspect of Carnage.
Yeah, that's true, I
I
guess.
bet it's gonna be like 10D or something.
I think
it's
on
gonna
hardcore
be...
trade it's gonna be like 50D each side. It's gonna be super expensive on hardcore trade. I think a lot of the jacks are just gonna want it. But in softcore, I don't know. You guys are thinking it's gonna be like 10 divines or something?
I don't feel like it's gonna be that expensive in softcore.
Yeah, I think it's
Like
only meant for like
Unbreakable's cheap in softcore.
That's the armor node, right? The jack armor node.
Yeah, that's Jug's armor node, and that's hands down better than the max res node in my opinion.
Interesting.
I mean, if we are talking about usage of cheating and the only thing we talk about is what is gonna be the cost of Forbidden Flame, that is kind of sad. You know, I mean, I still think that exposure node is the only like actual interesting node. I think the rest of Chieftain is just boring and bad, or like boring and weak, I guess. I don't know necessarily bad because like I think the idea might be okay, but it's just too weak.
Same.
Speaking of too weak, can we go back to support gems real quick and talk about the trauma support? Do you guys actually think that how they worded it is how it's gonna be and it's just gonna be flat face? Because I feel like that makes it like dead on arrival.
Well, it
I
definitely
think
just
it makes
added
it a lot more
physical.
niche.
Like, wouldn't you only ever use that on like exactly Pillar of the Cage, God, Brightbeak, and Frost Breath or something?
It depends how much
Pretty
flat
much.
fizz it has, right? Because it could be relevant for just a good rare weapon as well, if you can fit it in right.
Would it
It
though?
would have to
Like,
be really high
would
for
it?
for a rare weapon.
I feel like if it was that high, you would use like Frost Breath or something. That's the problem.
Yep, it's always going to be better on like a Frost Breath. You can't use it on Paradoxica, but or a Pillar of the Cage God or something like that, right? Because it's just like those weapons are like the best with the current flat stuff like Bloodthirst
Frost
and
Breath
stuff like
is
that.
a really slow attack speed weapon, though.
I think it's 1.3, right, or something.
Yeah, 1.3. Like, you can already almost get double that attack speed with a good attack speed weapon. And then you can have other stats on top of it that are useful.
Not without what's it called? Not without Crucible. It's pretty high. I mean, I guess you can get 2 attack speed on Axis.
You can get to
almost.
2.
Yeah.
And then you could get other useful things, like hits can't be evaded, or pen, or other damage scalers that aren't necessarily flat if you're getting carried by the flat.
Do you think they're gonna
Maybe with
put
Lamp.
cap on it? On the trauma
You
support?
could also get like synthesis weapons for attack speed with attacks
Yeah.
like 30% attack speed essence, and it's like actually really really fast on these weapons. But
That would just feel better
don't
to
know.
play, in my opinion.
Yeah, but for a league start setting, Lance, I still think
Yeah, oh yeah. For a League Star weapon, you're not gonna have a good weapon.
I mean, for League Start, it's like Pillar of the Cage God only. Or Frost Breath.
This seems like some super niche, like deep delve kind of, or like simulacrum thing, kind of where you can ramp forever. Otherwise, this is going to be kind of dead, isn't it?
I wonder if it's gonna have infinite stacks. Probably, right? I don't see why they would limit this one. Just make it work the same way Bone Shatter Trauma does, because they're limited with the sub damage.
I mean, if they limited this one, they would limit Bone Shatter, and they would have probably made it into patch notes, surely. So, don't think so. It would be limited.
Is there a skill that would be really good with a lot of damage, but doesn't do enough damage, like a single target skill that like would be good with ramping? I guess it would just end up being like Molten Strike, right? Anyways, just skills with like really high effectiveness.
Do you think you could build up trauma with like one skill and then also link trauma to a different skill and have it be giga buffed? Or would the stacks be related to the skill you built them up with?
It's hard to say, honestly, based on this wording,
I
right?
think it'd work. I think it could work. I'm pretty sure trauma is going to be a singular buff, right? That exists on your character. We can't really do that right now because you don't want to go from one bone shatter to another bone shatter. But you can test that right now, right? If one bone shatter works with another bone shatter.
Yeah, I suppose we could test that, yeah.
The other thing I saw was Val skills, where you build up trauma with a normal skill and then you press a Val skill. That could actually be pretty good.
Yeah. Like Chet is mentioning like these counter attack skills.
Yeah, what is that? I forgot those were in the game.
Those exist.
Wait, that actually could be kind of sick. Well, I mean,
like Vengeance?
Yeah.
Those have pretty high damage, right? I think.
Yeah, they have pretty high scaling.
I mean, no idea if it would even be allowed to be linked. They have like a lot of restrictions, right?
I mean, it should be. It doesn't say. They pretty much listed the
Oh,
restrictions.
it's strike
on-
skills, apparently, so...
Yeah.
I don't think those are strike skills.
For any of the
Oh,
counter-strike
true.
strike skills.
I think
Uh,
Not right.
let me see. I'm gonna look it up right now. I
Support
don't think
strike
Vengeance
skills for
is a
sure. Yeah.
strike skill at all. It's like a big AoE, right? Vengeance is an attack AoE melee physical trigger.
I'm being told riposte is a strike skill, so riposte could work.
Riposte is a strike.
I wonder if that
It
would
has a
be cool
garbage
if that was
trigger, right?
good.
But that one is really hard to use, though.
It has a horrible trigger.
Yeah, it's a horrible
Oh.
trigger.
Apparently, it's strike skills you use yourself. We just can't read. So it's like actually useless.
Well,
for
chat had
that.
the idea of counter attack skills, all right? They
True,
can't
true.
read.
Blame the chat. Blame the chat.
Wasn't my idea.
Okay, next gem. I think I'm actually hyped for this one. I think this one is gonna be really good. I did a new string support gem volatility. It supports attack, causing them to deal more maximum attack damage but less minimum. Basically, Rislata's coil.
So you use this on every single lightning build ever?
Every single lightning build, ignite build, and bleed build. I think.
A lot of fizz builds too, right? Like Paradoxica, for example, has like what, 50 to 250 range or something? A lot of physical weapons have huge ranges too, right? That's why they use Ruslavas in the first place.
You log in Glad and get the lucky
Wait.
damage.
Wait, doesn't this become even better with Ruslava if you multiply the maximum twice?
It would it?
I think so.
I guess it would, yeah, because it's like
Right, that's
two
like-
different more multipliers, right?
Yeah, so it makes like Ruslavas even better, right?
But
Because it increases your range even more.
Wait, but then you get lucky damage from the lightning amulet and you win.
Holy.
I think this support plus lucky damage in general is really good.
If the numbers are good.
I think they're gonna be good. I think it's gonna be at least as good as Rislata Coil, which is already good enough for a support gem. And I think it might even be slightly better than Rislata's Coil. Because Rislata's Coil is 40% more. And I think this might be like 49% more. Because it has a downside, right? Like it's gonna average to not being that much more, but like I think the high roll is gonna be very high. And for the like lightning ignite bleed is gonna be actually super strong.
I think it's gonna be 60% more maximum.
60? I was guessing 49. I was
gonna
like,
guess
that is
high.
already strong. But I mean, if it's 60, then that is super strong.
I think it has to be more than 49 because you have freaking support gems that do 40% more, right?
I mean, it depends on what the less minimum is, right? You could balance it that way too.
The more you guys say how good it is right now, the guy at GGG is changing the number as we speak.
There's
So
no way they're
lower
listening
and
to us,
lower
okay?
and
It's
lower.
fine. It's
So
fine.
I would refrain from saying that right now.
Okay, it sucks. It's probably unusable. Why would you ever use this? Next support gem.
Yeah, let's go
Flame
to the
Wood.
good gem.
Support skills that summon totems, triggering Avenging Flame when the totem supported skill is hit by an enemy. Avenging Flame fires a mortar up in the air, which falls down upon a target and deals area damage where it lands. This seems like a Lance support gem to me. Like I feel
Why
like
would you say Lance support gem?
Because I feel like you
No,
would take this and make a build out of this. So I'm like
Lance hates
ignite
totems.
flame boot.
Me
I
and
am
Lance
not
actually have
the
totem
totem guy.
PTSD.
So it's another support gem that grants an active skill like Impending Doom kind of thing, which makes it awkward to scale. Makes Battle Mage really good, right?
Does it? What is Battle Mage wording? Does it say damage to spells or what does
I think
it
so, yeah.
word?
Just generic
Oh yeah, it
spells,
works with
yeah.
Impending Doom, so it has to work, yeah. I think this is gonna be used as ignite skill, is my guess. Because I don't know how else, like I think it's gonna have a cooldown on trigger, small cooldown, but I think it's gonna have a cooldown. And then I think you're not gonna be able to proc it enough to use as a hit base. So I'm assuming this is gonna be an ignite support gem. I mean, maybe I'm wrong on that, but I hope this is good because this would be like a very unique build, right?
Yeah, but they
I'm
have
not
to
sure
get
if-
hit by an enemy though.
Yeah, I mean that's the
So
ogre
it's
part.
probably going to be a chieftain build where it taunts, right?
Don't you get taunt on mastery? Or
It already
no, they
taunts.
removed it.
The thing itself taunts like the support gem does.
Oh, does it?
I think they
Does
said
it?
when they showcased it.
Doesn't
doesn't
say
say it
here
taunts
at
right
least.
there.
But I kind of remember them saying that, so you might be right. Something along the
I'm
lines.
pretty sure when they showcased it, it launched out this red wave, and all the enemies had the taunt icon or whatever. And they
I
started
think
looking at
Chris.
it.
I think Chris said that is a chieftain thing that he's going to explain later.
Or use it
when
with
he said that.
Or we can use it with decoy.
We used it
totem,
with
right?
like
decoy
just
totem.
link it to decoy, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it would be cool if it was actually playable, just because it would be very unique and different. But again, it might have those scaling problems.
It almost
Yeah, but
feels
don't
like
you-
they made the build for us. Like this seems like such a constructed thing, you know. We placed down a totem, it does exactly this spell. Why not give us a support gem that lets us like trigger any spell when the totem gets hit?
Oh.
And not like this specific new spell.
Yeah, cast when damage taken, but for a totem? Or cast when hit for a totem?
Yeah, I guess like the same concept, you know. It would be more PoE style, I feel like, than just making a support gem that grants exactly this skill that gets triggered when you hit a totem. Seems awkward to me.
I mean, if they're listening, they're taking notes and we getting it next patch. That would be pretty cool, though, I think. But I mean, we kind of already... Well, I guess Spell Totem is not the same thing because it casts it itself. So this would be like a trigger. Yeah, I feel like that could work. It's just, I'm afraid that it will have a cooldown, because if it doesn't, right? And you have a spell like Exarch Annihilation, and it would just hit like 100 times in 1 second if you can make it all hit the totem. Wouldn't that be insane? Well, if it has like any reasonable numbers.
Wait, maybe that's the point.
I mean, maybe it is. Like, maybe this is actually like you're supposed to find like the one usage where it's really good. Or like, I guess in Simulacrum, when multiple mobs hit it, if it doesn't have a cooldown, it will proc from each hit and then like AoE down and like overlap basically. So that could be pretty good too. I guess it depends whether it has an internal cooldown or not. If it doesn't, it might actually be pretty good.
It would have to have a cooldown, right?
I think it will have a cooldown. I think it's gonna have like 0.5 second cooldown or something. Because
Just for,
otherwise
like,
there will be some
server
game
issues,
breaking
right?
stuff. What is the usual cooldown on triggers? Like what is like cast on crit, cast while channeling? It's like 0.5
like
to 1
0.15
second,
or
right?
something?
It's
different.
like 250
Cast when damage
milliseconds,
taken-
right?
Cast when damage taken is 0.25. Cast on channeling is 0.33. Cast on crit is it's like 1 in 6 or something. 6 times a second base. I forgot.
Oh, so like the cooldowns are not that long, but it's definitely not like a spam. I don't know. I think it's gonna have a cooldown. I would be surprised if it didn't. Time for
Yeah.
Sabo, dude, to reduce the cooldown. Actually, I don't even know if that would
you guys
work.
are gonna play this. I'll be honest. I
It
feel
seems
like
like
it's such
kind of
a
ruthless gameplay, you know? Placing
yeah,
totems that get hit
feels
and then
real slow.
yeah.
Like you have to point down the totem, you have to get an enemy to attack the totem, and then it fires a mortar into the air, and then it lands. It's like playing
Firestorm.
Then you
it's like
play
playing
Ignite, so
PR
it's dot
totem
too.
with an extra step.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever played counterattack builds before?
No.
Can't
It's
say I
really
have.
slow. So I agree with you. I think this is going to be feels terrible, feels terrible, feels terrible.
I mean, if it's OP,
Unless the Avenging Flame Mortar is like 95 AoE, and then we'll be like, oh shit, let's go. Right? Unless it's like huge, but I saw in the video it's not really that big, so I feel like it's gonna feel kind of bad.
I mean, I feel
I
like
mean-
the only way it's used is if it's broken and it's just used for single target. That's my guess. Like
Sounds
single
like it would
target
fit
ignite.
perfectly into PoE 2, right? When you have a decoy totem there, you might as well link the shit to it, especially if you're a fire caster kind of build anyway.
Well, we're getting into PoE 1 though.
Yeah. Seems weird here.
Oh, someone is saying it could be a utility. Decoy, flamewood, plus combustion, for example. It's not the worst idea, I guess, if you have the extra sockets. Like decoy is not
Yeah.
bad if you can fit it. It's just
You guys
difficult
actually
to
like
fit
playing with
others.
decoy?
I do on
No.
self-cast builds.
Really?
It's like pretty good damage uptime increase on like weak builds early on.
I feel like I always get myself killed when I have like other things that enemies are targeting.
Yeah, you need to be like hyper aware of it for sure. It
I
is
mean, that happens
difficult.
without taunting as well, though, just with like random ballistas or something.
Yeah, like if I have a stone golem or a whatever.
Yep.
I think decoy can be super OP. A lot of things in this game break with taunt, and It's just hard to fit nowadays because all our sockets are usually taken, and you basically only ever press decoy like on a boss or like a map boss, and it's just not justifiable to put in.
Yeah, let's go next. This is not it.
Yeah, Guardian Blessing. I mean, this one I think might be it, but probably for none of us. It's basically, quick explanation. You summon a minion. It has to be linked to an aura, and then you cast the aura. So it is 2 buttons to activate, but it remains activated until the minion dies. It costs no mana, has no reservation. Doesn't stack with Divine Blessing, obviously, only 1 blessing. And the minion takes damage as it's active on it. Percentage of their maximum life. I am afraid that this skill is only gonna work on minion builds. I don't know how
I think
you
it's
guys
gonna
feel
be
about
real
it.
hard to work into a non-minion character because of the fizz taken as over time.
I mean, you could like try like Vitality and whatnot, right? On like Holy Relic or something, but
It's
I
gonna
mean,
be a
how-
percentage of their life though. We have like such low flat from Vitality.
how much is Holy Relic per life? Do you know? By any chance? You played it, right? Surely you know.
Do I know how much HP Holy Relic has?
Yeah.
It has a good amount, but if you take a percent of it, that's gonna be a lot. That's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
gonna be a pretty big number.
I mean, it can't be worse than Divine Blessing. We cast that thing like once, like 3 times a minute, right? So I don't know. I think it could be good.
I think
depending
it's
on the
gonna be
numbers.
super good on minion builds, where you just get Animate Guardian, and you just Verma sustain it, right? Like you just get some regen, you get some damage reduction, like Cloak of Flame or.
But don't you lose
Doppelganger.
your Animate Guardian's normal gear then? Which they already used anyway? For all the buffs that they gain from that?
I guess no, but people already use Doppelganger now on Animate Guardian sometimes for like defenses.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
people
know.
use
I'm not an
Doppelganger.
expert there. Maybe you can fit it in easily.
You can get really high regen on Guardian, but it's basically just gonna be like a minion build that has an Animate Guardian already that's juiced.
So do
Yeah.
we know if this has some kind of cooldown? Like if I use this on a non-minion build and the minion dies really quickly, can I just not resummon it? Just like clicking a new blessing?
I mean, it's
I
2
think you can
buttons.
do
You have to
that.
resummon the minion and then activate the aura.
I bet if you have like the golems from Elementalists that they keep resummoning, like it's
Oh, yeah.
it's an instant cast. I think on the video. Wait, did it look like it was instant cast? I think it was instant cast.
It looked like Divine Blessing to me, but maybe I was wrong. Like
It wasn't.
I'm not sure. If it's instant cast, it's a lot better. Quantric was doing some memes where he said he's gonna play Bone Shatter and he's gonna have cast 1 damage taken Stone Golem, and then he's gonna use that for the blessing. I hope that gets him killed by some like random overlap meme. Oh, someone is saying it was actually instant, so you might be right, Lance. My bad.
Quantric build login.
I think it's cool, but I'm afraid it's gonna be only for minion builds. Like I was like, maybe we don't have to go EB anymore on like a lot of builds, but I'm afraid that it's not really gonna work on most normal builds.
I mean, it's still
I'm
cool.
gonna try it anyways.
Minion builds needed some love, right?
I mean, did they? I guess the
I mean,
problem
to-
with minion
to
builds is
rest,
there's too few viable minions, is what they usually complain. It's not like they are the best. Or sorry, not like they are the worst, but there's like too few viable ones. So that's what people usually complain when it comes to minions. It's kind of like
I feel like
vanilla.
every time I've tried a minion build, no matter what it was pretty strong. And it's always been minion builds that weren't the meta of the time.
it depends on who you ask, right? If you ask Gazzy, one day it's minion builds need love, and the next day his stream title is like #1 build in the
2
game.
billion DPS.
Yeah. So it's just like depends on who you ask, right? And when you ask them. But I think minions are like I was watching Ben play minions and like spiders last league. He looked like he had a pretty good time. His build was tanky. He was zooming.
Dude, minions are like
I don't know.
RF. You just hold left click. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, dude, it didn't look
They
bad
actually
at
get
all.
damage though.
True.
He had damage.
His build was really good though. Like he was.
Yeah,
it was high
it was really
investment.
good damage. It was.
I mean,
it
that's
was
Squire, right? It's a unique
yeah.
rare as Mage Blood. Surely it's good.
I mean, Squire's not that bad right now. They have a card for it now, right? There's a card for Squire now, right?
I mean, isn't Squire
Yeah,
still
for
like,
trade league Squire's like 15 to 20 deep, but
Yeah, it's not even bad, dude. It's like it's a high tier unique, but
So
it's
does Mage Flood.
doable for a lot of people these days.
I mean, obviously it's cheaper than a Mage Flood. I'm just saying it's like as rare. So
Yeah, it's as
the
rare. Yeah.
game, the developers valued it in a similar power level. Isn't that what rarity is supposed to mean?
I mean, I feel like it's kind of true for Square. I think it's similar power level. I think it's just not as versatile. That's why the price is like significantly lower. But I do think it's strong, right? It's just like if 10 times less people can use it, it's gonna have 10 times less price, like 10 times lower price. I don't think it's that weird. There's some tier 0 uniques that are very questionable though. Especially the weapons.
Don't get me started on that shit.
The weapons.
There's like the claw. What is it even called? Many would know.
I actually forgot already. That's our last unique in our
It's like essential something, right? Or something.
Oh yeah, essential sanguis.
That item is worse than like one deafening essence of wrath on a random claw. I don't know how that's a tier 0 unique.
It's Mage Blood rarity, but doesn't even have any cards for it either.
Okay, speaking of minions, let's skip a little bit to fresh meat. Have you guys looked at that gem, or are you guys just not really interested in minions? Basically, it gives Vacant Fury, which we don't exactly know what it is. We just know it's a crit buff, and Adrenaline for 10% of the minion duration, up to a maximum of 10 seconds. So I assume it's 10 seconds for permanent minions.
Oh, you think that's the case?
I would assume so. It makes no sense otherwise to me.
Right? Yeah, it doesn't say great temporary minions, right? It's any minion.
They also,
then it's actually usable, right?
They took that node from Zombie Crucible mod. So I'm assuming it's inspired by that, so I would be surprised if it didn't work on zombies.
Yeah, a lot more sense then. Because in all of the temporary minions, it looked like a joke, right? Like 0.5 seconds duration or something on SRS.
I mean, there's some that it would be good at. Like Animate Weapon, it would be okay at. I think, what else were people looking at? There was Golems. People are looking at Golems with this. Which, like, those are permanent. That's assuming it actually lasts 10 seconds. The problem with like Dumblo and Absolution is that they refresh, right? They don't have high duration, they just refresh, so I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's gonna be good unless the Vacant Fury crit buff is actually good.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a minion guy. I'm clueless.
Yeah, I don't think there's...
At the very least, it'll be maybe strong early game if it's bad late game. Just because Adrenaline's really good early.
Oh, that is true, actually. It might make minion leveling insane. Because minion leveling is already decent when you know what you are doing.
Yeah.
That is
I hope it's useful late game too.
I mean, crit scaling for minions is difficult to do, right? So like if the crit buff is good, it could actually be pretty decent. Returning projectile support.
Login.
That is just a login, right? There's no way that's bad.
Yep.
I mean, we already seen the level 1 gem, and I would already click that on my even on level 100 character. So yeah, it's good.
I think it's cool we can use spells. Is there any cool spell combos that we haven't like seen much? That like didn't work with Nimes but will work with this well?
It would have to be something that got bricked by the random direction.
Yeah.
I guess isn't Eye of Winter kinda like, well, does it even work with Eye of Winter?
Maybe Rolling Magma?
Ooh, Ice Spear is a good one apparently. Someone said in chat. Ice Spear could be actually pretty good with this.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that they are putting it into the game as a gem. I think it is a cool mechanic. It looks hilarious, right? Like I love
better than them just deleting Vengeance Cascade and then nothing.
Yeah. And I like that it works on spells instead of just attacks. So
yeah.
It really makes you wonder how Vengeance Cascade could ever slip through the balance check in the first place. Like when they make a support gem for it now, instead it has 70% less damage, and now we consider that balanced. Like,
yeah. I remember reading those patch notes about the Vengeance Cascade thing, and I was like, what the hell did they do?
I mean, it's just gone, but that was like... It was so obvious that people didn't even complain about it being wrong, like gone, right? It's like one of those things that everyone was just okay with being gone because everyone was like ready for it.
Yep.
Sadism. This is my favorite support. I think Sadism is gonna be insane. It's this gem that gives damaging elements go deal damage faster but have less duration. I think this gem is gonna be the best.
Essentially a replica Ember Wake in a gem, right?
Yeah. I think it's gonna be the best gem, assuming you can have 100% uptime on your ignite. Like the best damage gem. Because
Well,
otherwise
which
it
is
doesn't make
easy.
sense, right? Like the downside of it is like the biggest downside of all ignite supports. So I feel like it should be really good.
As long as the how's it called? Default forces in the game, that's a downside is easy to avoid, right?
Yep. I mean, it has the
My only
downside.
fear for this,
Sorry, go ahead.
my only fear for the support gem is that they've listened to so many people complain about bleed, and they specifically designed it for bleed, so the numbers are more bleed oriented than ignite oriented, and that's my only fear. And because you need with a lesser number, it could still work for bleed, right? Because ignite has stuff like replica Emberwake and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think for it to be really good with ignite, the number has to be kind of big, right? Because it has to be better than an actual support gem while having the less duration. So if we don't have those sort of numbers, I think it's going to be kind of weird.
I was looking at the numbers and it basically needs to be like 60% faster at least to be good for ignite.
I mean, if that's if on like a base character league starter, right?
Yeah,
For it
that's
to be
no
good,
Emberwake, no ignite faster anywhere. It's like actually
Yeah.
0, and it would need to be 60%.
it has to even be better than that if you have like searing heat spec, like all of that
Yeah.
stuff, because it's all additive, right?
I mean, it could just be
So-
fine if it's a gem you use early and then eventually move it over to gear, right? It's not necessarily a bad thing.
I hope
Yeah.
they
My
don't
opinion.
undertune it. I hope they make it good.
Me too. I
Also,
hope they make it good too.
do you guys cope enough to think about Alchemist Mark plus Master Toxicity? Or no, what's the name? Low tolerance? Alchemist Mark low tolerance? Or
I
is
did
that
the
just gonna be
POB
too
already.
awkward?
It's dog shit. It's just not good. I did 2 POBs with 2 different skills. I actually played Alchemist Mark with Vortex last league because I experiment with all of this stuff, and I did POBs this league. I did an armor brand poison because you want to hit it like as fast as you can, right? Or you want to hit it at a specific interval right before the poison ends, and some other skill. I forgot what it was. I did armor brand, I did vortex, and I did a self-casting skill, and all of them turned out to be quite underwhelming for the level of investment that you have to put in.
Oh, that's kind of sad. I always like that idea of low tolerance Alchemist Mark stuff, but the only builds that I've seen that were decent were like when Jung was cheesing stuff with Valve Breach, but like that's like so
That's
fake.
not a real use case.
Yeah.
And it's really clunky too, right? Because you're gonna like, even when you're clearing, you're gonna have to put Alchemist Mark on like all of these little skills or all these little minions that you want to kill, or you're not gonna get the pool on the bottom or the dot on the bottom. So it's like, not only is it like a clunky build, but it also doesn't do enough damage. I think Alchemist Mark is really, really undertuned for what it is.
It was like
Right? It's
okay
a full
before they
build that you
buffed
have to invest.
curses, in my opinion. Like it wasn't good, but it was okay. And now that they buffed curses, it feels so out of line compared to everything. Like it was a mark that was balance of curses in terms of damage. That's how I always viewed it. But now it's just bad.
That thing needs to be like tuned like 200% higher for you to want to have proper investment into a build, because the playstyle is not good, right? It's clunky. True, it's pretty much a 2-button build already. So it's like playing DD, but you're getting arc damage, right? It's that level. So it's not clunky, no damage, have to have a specific build, and you have to have like a pretty big brain to build the build itself, because you need specific setups to make it work, because your poison duration has to be lower than the cast time or the hit rate on the skill. So it's a pain in the ass, man. It really is.
I feel like the numbers would have to be insane for it to be like good with the low tolerance stuff. I agree. It's sad though. Like it would be a cool playstyle because, as you said, it is pretty clunky. Like if it was actually strong, it would be pretty cool.
I agree. If it was actually strong, it would be worth it, and it would be something fun, right? Because it's really strong. But right now, it's really weak, and it's just not fun to play.
Next support, Locust Mine. I don't know if you guys looked at that. That sounds like it actually looked pretty good in the showcase. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it supports bows and wands, and it fires projectiles ahead. and it was like targeting your character. So like if you run ahead, you can like it targets your location when you detonate it. So you have a lot more control, and people are pretty hyped about it. But I feel like if you are playing a good mine build, you are already clearing the screen regardless, right? Is it actually gonna be good? Like,
isn't targeting yourself a bit of a downside in some like boss fights and so on? You would have to throw like behind the boss, right? So it targets you.
I mean, you could. What people are suggesting is that you could somehow make it like overlap certain skills, like KB without a wall, maybe.
Oh, you mean like you go onto the boss and stand inside the boss and make them all hit you there?
Yeah, would that work? Or would it fly through the boss? I'm not sure.
I think it would just fire through the boss. It fires in your direction, I think.
I guess it's.
I'd say it's targeting your location. Like it depends on the skill probably, but it sounds like it would be like clicking, whatever skill on the location. But I guess most of the bow and wand skills they would just fly.
It'll just fly in that
fast.
direction.
What if it has a damage upside? Because like we know it works kind of like multi-trap or whatever, where Chris said that it summons free mines or places free mines.
No, it works like blast chain or a high impact, right? It makes the skill into a mine.
No, it does makes the skill into a mine, and it adds additional. I'm pretty sure.
I think it turns into
yeah,
turns into mine and makes it free. So what if it does that, and the downside is the fact that it targets you, but it doesn't actually have like big damage downside?
Yeah, I mean the other support gems that they have like 50% less damage when they turn skills into a mine, right? Maybe it's a smaller penalty here.
Would be cool if it was that. I mean, it's only attack like bows and wand attacks, right? So you can't even use it with spells. I haven't seen anyone play attack bow miner in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
KB mines used to be really, really good though.
Yep.
So maybe this gem makes it back. Would be cool.
Wasn't there a time where elemental hit mines or traps was like a good league starter too?
I
built to race to like shaper with or something. Remember that? It was fun.
I don't know. Mines are kind of weird now because a lot of attacks can be like pricey too, mana wise. Like Quandric always talks about his EA mines, and apparently when he reserved all the mines, it was like minus 2,000 mana. So I don't know, man.
Yo, he was going on about how his EA mines build is going to be the future. He's been spamming me with it. I haven't looked at it at all. Is it good? Have you seen it? Have you seen the POB?
No, I haven't.
He sent it to me, and I was like, I saw explosive arrow, and I just kind of just ignored it.
That's what you should do.
But hey,
I think it's kind of good compared to totems though, because you can pre-stack the mines and get 20 stacks every time. Like and then you just refresh the ignite with default forces, right? If you play ignite explosive arrow mines. So I could see it being decent for that specifically. But I don't even know if you would use Locust Mine for that.
You know, Lance, the thing with Quantric is that he has like 100 bad ideas, but once in a while he has one good idea and it's actually good. So I wouldn't dismiss all his ideas, but
I wasn't saying dismiss because Quantric. I was saying dismiss because EA.
Yeah, but even as EA, sometimes it could be okay. I think it's fine. I mean, if you think about it, would it be that bad on bosses if you just stack that shit and you just get 20 and boom, and move on next stack and then you just refresh over and over again?
I mean, you don't even need next stack, right? You'd stack it once and then you default forces refresh.
Yeah, but then like the phase resets and then you have to stack again, right?
Yeah, I think it could be good. I think EA Miner could be a decent bosser.
Yeah,
if the numbers are good.
Too. I think like the playstyle wouldn't even be that bad, right? But who knows? I'm gonna give Quantric the benefit of the doubt and say it's like, oh, it could be okay, but again, it's it's something that probably feels like shit clearing, right?
Did Quantric actually like make the build, or is he?
You want the POB? I'll send it to you. Actually,
no, I mean like, did he make it in game and test it?
No, he just made a POB. He theory crafted basically.
Okay.
At least I don't think he tested. EA Mines would feel sick to clear.
I mean, he's saying you cannot test it because you don't have Locust Mines, right? So that's his excuse.
I thought you guys were saying he made this like before this like league was announced or something.
He's saying it's detested with Blast Chain, but I don't know. Maybe it's fine. We'll see. I don't believe in EA. I hate that skill so much. I hope it's not good. I hate that skill. I don't want that skill to be meta. But I mean, that's me. I don't know, man. Every time someone talks about EA, I just remember the times when I played EA and didn't have a good time playing PoE.
Bro, I hope EA Mines is cool. Next league, I'll get a new Zizaran video with a new intro of EA Mines instead of EA Totems.
I mean, I'm
Always
sure Ziz
entertaining.
would be happy. Okay, next support gem, Frigid Bond. Do we even talk about Link skills? Anybody wants to talk about them? Surely not,
I'm
right?
down to
not.
skip it.
Skip.
Okay, now the last two are the... Oh, actually, we have three. Okay, let's start with Devourer because I think that one's gonna... Devour these nuts. Support any skill that hits enemies. Killing blows, support, consume corpse to recover life and mana. This...
I think it looks terrible. I think when I saw the video, it has a delay on the Devour, and it has no damage. So even if you try to couple this gem on something with a Necromancer where you're getting all of the attack speed, you're still getting no damage, and you're just basically it's basically like life on kill.
I said the only way this sees
Or the
plays is if
delay.
it has 20% more damage on the gem. And even then, it's not good. It's just usable.
I think it should have been like 1% damage for every single
Per
corpse
Yeah.
devoured, right? Or something like that. Like it should have damage for every corpse you devour. It should be something you build around. But it doesn't have any damage on that support, so it's like what?
It's also
What am I-
culling
what-
only, so like... I was thinking of using it on DD for mapping when you don't need damage, but you wouldn't even benefit from the recover life or mana. Like, it seems so bad if it doesn't have damage. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree too. The only the only thing that you can kind of say, like the mana part is a little bit more important than the life part, right? If like you have some like giga mapping build that requires like giga mana one day, but even then, I don't know. I think this skill really needs like percent damage for every corpse devoured up to like 50 or 60 or something like that. It has to be something you want to build around and not just a delay, you know,
I don't
healing
think
effect.
utilities supports in PoE 1 makes sense. You will pretty much... Unless the utility is so big that it's worth the damage loss, it's just not gonna happen, I think. Like, I think it has to have damage to see any use, pretty much. Well, time for the two good ones, though. These two are the ones I'm the most hype about. And I think they actually have a lot of potential to create new builds. So let's start with the sacrifice support.
Let's go.
I mean, I think this is going to be really cool. So for those who don't know, it's a gem that basically converts percentage of your current life to additional chaos damage based on how much life you sacrifice. We don't exactly know how much it's going to be, but I mean, if you actually play some life stacker, it's probably going to be enough to build around. Right? I don't know. Which skills do you guys think could be used with this? Like this is definitely like a Lance thing to play. He always plays those draft pit builds. What are you gonna use?
I love draft pit builds. I think you 100% can use this with basically just any skill that has good scaling with flat. Probably, just a matter of building into it. I'd probably gonna look at doing a ivory tower Wrathpith angle with it.
I agree with Lance. I think it was actually so good that they had to put the orb skill and tag cremation on it because they think it would be too abusive with cremation, and it put like Pock into depression because of that one line. But I don't know. I think it's actually going to be really really good. Looking at the video itself, it looks like it sacrifices like up to like 20% of your life.
Oh, that's insane.
That's a lot, right?
That's a lot of damage.
If you have 5,000 life, it's like 1,000.
It's not like you can mitigate it either, right? It's
it
sacrifices the life. It's not like you
but...
can mitigate it with resist or anything like Forbidden Right.
I mean, if it's 20%, it's
like
insane.
Dissolution or with Ivory Tower, so you don't care about the sacrifice amount.
Yeah, Dissolution, shield build, whatever it's called, Wrathpith, right? A build like that would be really, really good. It would just be insane with this on a life stacker because how much life did you get on your Wrathpith build last league, Lance? Like 15K
You can
or something?
for life stacker, if you're doing Dissolution, you can realistically get 20 to 25,000 if you're really pushing your gear. If you're doing Ivory Tower, you can get to like 15K, but that's really good gear.
Whew, that's real. That's some flat right there. I mean, on Wrathpith, you're already getting the crit, right? And the increase, right?
Yep.
I
think
did the
this build would
math
be
on like
insane.
5k life build, and even at like 8% sacrifice, it was already better than added chaos. Obviously, it has a downside, right? So it should be better than added chaos. But if you are saying it's 20%, that is insane.
Yeah, I think it's. You look at the video, right? It looks like it's like 20% of their life every single time he presses the button. I think it was on the ExileCon keynote. I don't know if you want to pull it up right now, but it's
It was
definitely like
20%.
somewhere between 15 to 20% life, maybe
If
even
it's
more.
20%, that is so much damage.
I mean, Manni is probably thinking in his head like, "Oh, I'm playing Poison BB. Let's go."
I specifically looked at it because I wanted to see if I could play Poison BB with it if I wanted to make a POB with it once it came out. But yeah, it looks like 20%.
I feel like you have to cast BV too often still to play it like without some of that ref piv tech or something, or dissolution tech. Playing it on like some no gear build, right? It's almost impossible, isn't it?
Oh, like
It'd be really rough on a league start.
yeah,
To sacrifice them
that
out.
is true.
You get yourself killed for sure.
It looks like a second build type of support gems for sure, where you have to like build properly around it. But I mean, I think this gem is like super hype. Like I think it's one of those gems like Archmage was, where you can put it on any skill and make any skill like playable, if you have the way to recover the sacrifice, because it will give you so much flat, assuming it works the way we are expecting it to work, which is fine because like it is a big sacrifice usually, or you have to build around it properly to mitigate it. I think it's gonna be good. I hope it's not undertuned. Like that one is I'm really hyped about, and I mean I know you guys want to play builds with it.
You guys know I'm an addict to freaking life stack builds. I have a
I know,
problem.
we know, Lance. But
Bigger number, better.
That's right.
It's always going to be the case, right? I hope they don't. Oh, Ventrua pulled it up. See, it's a
Oh,
huge.
it
It's a huge
is.
amount, right? It's
It
like
is like
20%.
15% maybe.
It's a chunk, dude.
People are saying that you could sacrifice 15% and gain like half of that as damage, but I don't think that's gonna be the case. I think you're gonna get
Is it
the
worded
same.
gain as much as you sacrifice?
It doesn't say. It says based on how much life, so it could
yeah, it
be
could be
multiplier
percentage
still.
of it, but I hope
It
it's
looks like
not.
12% to me.
That looks like 12% of you.
Yeah.
I mean, anything. I think anything above 10% is very strong, even on like a non, like if you have 10k life and it's 10%, it's still 1,000 flat. Like that's like what 3 added chaos or something.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's like a covenant and half. Like that's an insane amount of flat. I hope
You
it's
guys are
good.
nitpicking the numbers though. 3%, 9%. What's the difference? It's the same thing. The main thing is the lesson that we learn here.
Cheers.
The support gem is gonna be good. That's the lesson for sure. That one is gonna be overtuned, and Lance is gonna have the time of his life. What about the last support gem, Spellblade? What do you guys think about that one? Do you guys think it's gonna be balanced around the top end, and useless for everything else, or is it gonna be like usable on like all the like random uniques like Wide Wind and Rebuke of the Wall and Vulcanus?
It should be usable even on like a budget build, because then your gem levels are generally lower, right? Which means added damage is a lot stronger. So even if it's like balanced for those giga high-end weapons, it could still be usable on like basic builds.
I think an easy like league start is just grab Rebuke of the Vol, grab Ignite Elementalist.
I was thinking that too. If that
True.
gem gives a lot, I'm probably playing Wave of Conviction over Ignite. Right? I mean, actually, am I though? In hardcore trade, is there even gonna be a Rebuke of the Wall? Maybe I have to visit you guys in softcore.
Is it a common item? I mean, I know it's always like dirt cheap, but that's because it's garbage.
I don't think it's super common. I think it's like tier 2 or something. I mean, there should be some available, I'm sure. I think the support is super cool though, because it allows you to play basically Battle Mage without the downside of being Inquis or using the non-crit helmet. Or you can stack it with Battle Mage as well. So it feels like it's gonna be interesting. It's kind of a shame that it doesn't work with two-handers.
This support can single-handedly
one-handed.
make. This support can single-handedly make Fire Burst with Squire really, really good. it can make Impending Doom really, really good, and it could make Prismatic Burst sort of playable if the numbers are really, really good on it. And all three of those things kind of need help, especially with the Impending Doom Poison nerf from Temporal Chains. So they're not like really, really strong builds right now, but all of them are pretty fun, right? I think all three of those builds are pretty fun because they're kind of automated, and Ignite Fire Burst was always fun, but if it's really good, I hope it's really good. So a lot of different archetypes comes back into PoE, and people have more choices because I like choices, right?
How would you even build fire? Like, how would you craft a weapon with fire burst on that? Would you have to fracture? Because that
Yeah,
sounds.
fracture.
Yeah, you would
You probably have to fracture,
you
right?
just have to fracture, yeah.
I guess that's fine. Can't really
But
start it, but
it's really hard to generate flat on skills like Fire Burst and all the supports, right? And it's just another way of doing it.
yeah, I hope it's good. I hope it's usable with something that's not like triple tier 1 gavel. Because otherwise it would be very disappointing, right?
How would the numbers be on this? Like the helmet, for example, the Battle Mage helmet just grants Battle Mage, right? Nothing else, I think.
It's
do
Battle
you
Mage
guys
you
think
cannot crit.
Downside, never crit.
Oh shit. I was gonna say, is it better than like a helmet slot, a gem usually? But
I was predicting
It has to be.
80%.
The thing has to be pretty big because it's not only it's taking a support gem, so you're like minus like 40% damage already on it. You have to build your weapon slot, so you're losing all the gem scaling, all the plus gems on your weapon itself, and the increased damage. So it has to be better than 3 prefixes. It has to like rival gem levels basically, and gem levels is humongous, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to because
I
you need
did
so
some
much of that
math
to get it.
against Immolate, and the minimum usable amount was like 80% on the gem. And that would be like breaking even with Immolate plus like a different support. Or like
That sounds
Immolate
like a
plus a
league
weapon.
start scenario, right?
It was like a decent weapon plus Immolate support versus Spellblade plus like a flat damage weapon. Like I think I looked at Rebuke of the Wall or something.
I
it could
did
just be
math on it.
this.
It has to be like 160 or higher for it to rival like the good stuff at the end game. I would
But-
say even higher than 160.
I think if it's 160, then like Elementalist, the Rebuke of the Wall League Start is gonna pop off. Like it's gonna be like legit insane, which is fine, right? Like if it's a
Which
gem
is
that's good
I mean,
early.
that's what you want, right? You want people to log in, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
You
I
don't want
think
support gems where it's like shitty at the start and it's shitty at the end and then it's just shitty all the time, right? You want people to log in.
I agree. I think anything that's good
You
in
want
day
Totem
1
Explode?
is super good. Like
It could just be designed to make those kind of weapons like Beano's kitchen knife usable for spells, right? So maybe it's not very strong because they're just designing it to enable those kind of weapons.
I
And
mean,
not like making it the go-to support gem for a lot of builds.
I guess that's fair, but I think it's gonna be like if the number is not at least decent, it's gonna be pretty much dead on arrival. That's what I'm afraid of. Like ideally, you would want to use this early when your gems are like lower level, right? On stuff stuff that cannot scale with gems, and then you would end up dropping it later when you get like your Skin of the Lords, Empower type of stuff. That's how it would
Yeah.
If in ideal world it would function like that.
Yeah, I don't know if they want to balance it like that though.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know, I'm hyped about it though. I think it's gonna. I'm hoping it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked this whole battle mage idea. It's just so niche to like Inquisitor exactly, right? Or this helmet that you never find.
I love it. I love Battle Mage as a thing. It also enables some sort of hybrid builds in the future, which I think anything new really excites me. But a little bit off topic, right under Spellblade, it says added 15 new unique items. I'm looking forward to that because we've seen 3 of them and they're kind of poop, and we haven't seen a single spoiler for unique items since. And that's 12 things that we can get, right?
True.
Right.
I mean,
Unless
the body armor looked
okay.
are the tattoos unique? The tattoos aren't unique, right?
No, they're
No,
currencies.
they're currency. We have seen 3
They're
uniques,
not
and
unique.
2 of them were
mean-
like borderline unusable, and one was you macro your mana flask and abuse some mana belt type of
Wait, do
deal.
you think the body armor is borderline unusable?
I think
think
so.
body
I think
armor is
the
unusable.
body armor is good.
Really?
I think it's good.
Yeah, same.
I think that number rolls to 1K, and it lets you not have to have life on all your other pieces.
Exactly. Gearing is gonna be so fun on that.
The all unique builds on YouTube are gonna be popping off with that thing.
Yep.
Well, you have to find uniques that don't have life, actually. Like, you can't use headhunt and stuff, you know? There's still a bunch of uniques that actually have life that you don't want anymore.
Mageba doesn't have life, so that's a good start.
True.
Yeah, you can use the better belt.
Can't use Ventures. That's unfortunate. What MF gear can you use? Is
Wait.
it just Ventures that you cannot use?
If you roll 0 on Ventures, does it still have a life mod on the Ventures?
I
Yeah.
think it would, but I'm not
Yeah,
100%
it's still gonna have
sure.
a life mod.
I don't know if
Honestly,
it
I
would
don't
remove the
know.
life mod.
You press Alt and it'll say 0 life modifier.
Oh, yeah, then it wouldn't work. I mean, you could just use the Pariah ring or whatever, right? Or Quant or something. Like, I think
Like-
for MFing, I guess it could be okay. Maybe I was too
Doesn't
harsh.
that one have life when you have strength? When you have a red socket on it?
Oh, it does. You're right.
You see, there's a lot of uniques that don't actually work on second thought, but it's still gonna be a great body armor, I think.
I think it's gonna be used a lot because it's gonna feel nice for people. It has life on kill. It will allow you to use a bunch of uniques which people like to use, right?
You can craft some cool items that you normally wouldn't craft because you need life on them, right?
I mean, you can it's good for anything you want to stack like a defensive stat on, right? Like say you're going like armor evasion, you could go armor evasion on every single thing instead of rolling life on every single item, right? And then you could just have like these super high armor evasion or armor evasion items.
What about
like,
hybrid?
on your build?
Like
I
ES
was gonna say
hybrid.
hybrid, but you don't want to use it on a trickster, surely. Full armor base.
No, but like
not
Hyro
sure.
or something, maybe?
Yeah.
I definitely think there's great uses for this armor. I don't think it's garbage. I think
Maybe
it
I was wrong. It has a decent amount of armor too, like 1200 or whatever when quality, which is okay. It's also
and
low
it has
level.
and it has a whole devour support gem built into it.
True.
Hey, it doesn't have the mana on kill, okay? Not the same.
I mean, you reserve 99% of her mana anyways. I don't think it's gonna have a high value though. Like maybe it's gonna have use case, but I don't think it's gonna have a high value. Can we agree on that? Like there's not gonna be.
I think it's gonna be common.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be like the Sanctum Staff, like some 1% drop. Honestly,
I guess.
we never know.
Do we know if these are? Oh,
They're all related to the
There's 10
Peru
tribes,
guy.
right?
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
10 uniques
Kava's a
from.
tribe. Orangahui's a tribe.
It looks like there's 10 uniques from the League mechanic and 5 global uniques, probably.
Like that
Or
rings from the Tawaho, right? The green.
oh no, I was wrong.
person.
Sorry. There's 10 unique tribes. Each tribe has 1 unique, and then there's the boss, the Hinekora, Goddess of Death, that she has 4 more uniques, and then there's 1 random unique. It looks like.
So it's 14 league specific uniques.
It looks like it, yeah.
Dang,
Oh,
no
yeah.
global.
Oh, there's one of them is a boss unique too, right? One of the extra uniques from the Xbox event or something, or Roofless event.
Oh yeah.
Play live.
Oh, so it's only. It looks like it's actually only League mechanic plus the Roofless event, Roofless unique. There's no
Wait, the
new
Ruthless
global.
unique's part of the league mechanic too.
No. That one is
No.
specific.
It's
But
a boss drop, right?
it's gonna be a boss drop, right?
I think
Do
so.
you
know
guys,
what
do you guys
boss
get
it's dropping
excited for
from?
new uniques?
I do.
I love new uniques.
I love new uniques, dude. I'm just wishing for another Ashes of the Stars, something that like changes the way we make builds. I'm always excited for a new unique, but I always get disappointed from some like I don't know, some weird shit.
I mean, we had some
Yeah,
decent
feel you.
uniques recently.
The last like year, the uniques have been pretty good. I think.
Yeah, the like Lake Calandra was a entirely like poop league, right? But the stuff that they redid in Lake Calandra, like the chest, Wrath Pith, and all of those good uniques that came from it, was the best part from that league. So
Was that when they
there's a lot
reworked
of
like
good
100
ones.
uniques?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
when they did
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
That was super fun.
Yeah, that was good.
I like uniques. Like build enabling uniques, especially when you can get them on day 1, are so good for the game, in my opinion. Like even like random stuff like Valkyries just makes like day 1 not miserable for so many people, right? And it's like it's relatively simple unique. It's just +5 and onslaught when you use a WoW skill, but it's so nice for day 1. And maybe you don't even want to use it end game, but it's just good. It's good to have something like that.
Oh, they just released new tattoos on Twitter.
Oh,
Oh,
Go
they
go go
did.
go
right.
go go go.
Pull it
Go,
up.
go, go, go.
So we have
Oh
reduced curse effect on you. That's pretty good. Plus duration and flood regen. I
Hey,
mean,
that's pretty good.
fast duration is pretty good.
Yo, that's pretty
6%
fucking
per
good,
But you
inch.
can stack like
bro.
20 of those, right?
Yeah.
Yo,
That's a lot.
Hopefully.
yo, guys, soul tether, blast duration. Oh shit!
Oh wait,
Who wants to
actually
play some Flicker
true.
Strike?
Meanwhile, Lance is just thinking about Balbala.
Shut up. I didn't say that out loud.
That's so cool though. Wait, fast duration is actually really strong though.
6%.
Even Okay, but what if you just level? Like, wouldn't there like 15 life regen while leveling be like super OP and like super nice? It might actually make
Oh,
leveling
that's insane
miserable.
for leveling. That's such a large number for leveling.
I like that it doesn't have a level requirement. There's gonna be some cool leveling stuff. There's the one that gives like soul eater when you level up, right? You just buy like 50 of them, and you you just have a nice time leveling. I mean, sounds like fun content. Apparently,
And
there's
the random-
maximum 50 tattoos, is what someone is saying.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's fine.
Everyone says it's gonna be super rare, but you guys are all guys.
No, I think the small
It's not
tattoos
gonna
are
be
gonna be
rare.
super
Look at-
common.
It's gonna drop in stacks of 10, guys. No copium. Look at this. They literally made stacks of 10 here to show you how it drops. No
I
copium.
think they're gonna be as common as like greater Ickers if you're just doing league content.
I think
Have they shown like an item to remove these tattoos from a tree? Or how
I
does that
assume it's
even
gonna
work?
be a scour. Is my guess.
Click a scour on the node on the tree.
Yeah, I mean we did that for Crucible.
And do you think it's gonna remove it then, or itemize it again into a
Remove,
tattoo?
delete.
Remove, right?
Yeah, that's my guess.
Yeah, and looking at tattoos, I get so excited.
Speaking of tattoos, I thought this through today because my chat told me there's like the resist tattoos, right? You can use the nightmare jewels with it. Might
Yeah.
actually be really cool. The tattoos, I feel like the tattoos will change how we actually pop our skill trees end game.
You
To
know
like
the
a
one
certain
on
extent.
Ranger, the one that the bow cucks use, is 62 suppression.
Oh, assuming Green Nightmare.
Yeah, you take. Yeah, but they it's a green nightmare like where like they pass for bows. It's 62 suppression for one jewel,
That's insane.
and you get enough things to basically cap your cold res. It's insane.
Wait, I
Like,
only just
why-
now realized you can tattoo nodes that you haven't even taken, right? For like a natural instinct and so on.
Wait.
You could.
Did you?
It doesn't say you
could.
can't. Oh, can you?
Wait, that might actually be
That'd
true.
really.
I mean, you
You
can
could
also Might
tattoo.
of the Meek them, right? Because it's not a notable.
I'm just saying it doesn't say replace an allocated passive, right? It just says
Oh,
replace
shit.
a passive.
Mida the Meek? Yo, now we're on to something. So you mean to tell me if I'm in the Ranger area, I can tattoo all my stuff with flash duration, and put Mida the Meek here? Oh, shit.
Are you just playing Flicker Strikes with the Soul Eater belt?
Oh my god, dude, I'm gonna have so much flash duration. Oh, my
Apparently
God,
it says click a valid passive skill, but that could just mean like a non-notable, right?
Valid
Like,
as a small one, right? 'Cause
yeah,
it
small
says
dexterity
small
passive
dex.
skill. I feel like that doesn't mean that it doesn't work. I think tattoos are gonna change how you pop your skill tree a lot.
Yeah, because the non-keystone passives aren't limited to attributes for Might of the Meek, so it actually is coded in a way where it works with every small node, right?
Yeah.
So if it works with every small node, it should work with Oh my god.
50
Oh my
tattoos is
God.
never gonna be limiting, right? There's like no way you wanna have more than 50 tattoos out of 120 skill points.
I mean, if it works with shit like unnatural instinct and so on.
I mean, yeah, maybe. I mean, that
But how
kind
many
of makes
good
me
spots
think
are there
that
for unnatural instincts?
it will work on unallocated when it's maximum. Well, I don't know, hard to say. I
Who's
hope
excited for
they're
this
good.
league? I'm getting more and more excited for this league.
Someone brought up an interesting point. It's like, why do people complain about no changes when Sentinel had no changes? And I mean, we were excited in Sentinel when we started playing, you know? Like, if the league is good, I think people gonna be excited. And honestly, the tattoos
man.
do seem very interesting. I like them. I like the changes it's gonna make to build creation.
I think this is
We have some breaking news.
insanely more interesting
wanna
than
hear
a
it?
lot of league mechanics we've had.
I have some breaking news.
Oh, that.
What
What
is
is it?
Someone just informed me that Jung is already talking to GGG after hearing about tattoos.
Oh, it's over. The snitch. It's over. They're removing them. No tattoos this week. Oh.
So we've seen the tattoo that converts the small 30 int node, right? Do
Yeah.
you guys think?
Yeah.
Do we know if there are any other tattoos that have special that can actually convert notables, or is it related only to those 30 int nodes?
We have
Guaranteed there's going to be a 30 strength for a strength gem and a 30
Yeah,
dex
I'm
for
sure,
a
but
dex gem.
maybe there's one that just converts any notable into something else.
I mean, there's this
There's
thing, right,
definitely
Manni?
more.
The thing I'm showing here, it's called Loyalty Tattoo. And it replaces a small strength passive with some triggers, summon Spirit of Utula, whatever that is, right? But it's limited to one
Yeah.
loyalty tattoo.
But again,
So-
it's only for passive node, for travel nodes, for those
yeah, but
small strength nodes.
it's like a third different type of tattoo, right? It's not just replacing it with like some stuff, but it's some effect. So
Loyalty
there's gonna be
tattoo?
some
Oh, yeah,
special effects.
What do you think summon Utala Spirit's gonna do?
I think it's gonna be like
Guardian
Ancestor War
Blessing.
Chief type
I
of
mean, no,
buff.
you can't Guardian Blessing that. What am I saying?
It might be like Ancestor War Chief type of buff or something.
Oh, that could be cool.
Or
I'm looking forward to doing all of these things. You know,
But how often do you
love my
take a
PoE
savage hit from a unique enemy?
often while bossing. Savage hit is only like 15%. Like every time you get hit on Uber, you get it.
How often do you get hit though?
I mean,
Yeah, Manni doesn't get hit, so this isn't applicable to him.
listen, some of
I
us are
built
not as
dice in
good.
one hit.
What do you guys think about the omens?
I think they're insane.
Thank God if I need to chance an item.
It's Prophecy 2.0, right? Basically.
I mean,
It's gonna be
for sure.
some super meme stuff where you pick up like 50 of those in inventory and trigger them 50 times in one map.
no, you can only once per area.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
They said that. Once per area.
Relax, you can't be.
Cast on Death Portal is what we have seen. We have seen restore all charges when you hit low life. That combined with Pathfinder is like kind of cheat death. Or sorry, not Pathfinder. With the Flask Mastery. That like use on full life plus the Flask Mastery will heal you for like 20% life minimum. Could be pretty good.
Ooh.
It's good. Yeah.
The Soul Eater for leveling, I think we're gonna see some nice leveling. Like you're gonna buy like 50 of these and do like a 1 hour Act 10 or some meme. Like isn't that just kind of fun? It's not gonna be super OP, but it's just gonna be fun.
Wait, doesn't that kind of mean for like Gauntlet, everyone's gonna have to farm for each boss? They have to farm this heal omen and like all the other omens that are gonna be useful, and maybe even time to like level up ideally or something.
I mean, you can only use one omen.
And every single time it gets consumed, they log out and they put a new one in their inventory. It's gonna be
No,
great.
it's one omen per combat area. Okay, so
Yeah, but still, you have to
is it
farm it for
really?
like every fight ideally.
yeah, you would want it for every fight ideally.
Wait. Look at the Soul Eater one again.
People are saying combat area is not a normal area, but I think it is. I think combat area just means a zone, no?
It means
Yeah.
not hideout.
Yeah. I don't think that means like the league mechanic. Because it wouldn't make sense. Like the cast on the portal wouldn't make sense in the league mechanic. And they even talked about it being in maps. For
Okay,
cast on the
Get this. What if in Gauntlet you're level 96.999999 and you go into Uber Eater with that, and then you get Soul Eater and you just crush it?
What does Soul Eater do for you in Uber Eater? And
Or
which
Uber
thing
Elder,
are you
Uber
killing to
Elder,
get
Uber
XP?
Elder. Uber Elder.
Oh,
Can
Uber
you
Elder.
even get EXP for killing the little monsters
Oh,
in
that-
Uber?
that might be worth finding
Elder?
out. Time it out for the third ad phase or third portal phase. Get like 50
you
Soul
just-
Eater stacks.
Is this infinite
No,
Soul
yeah.
Eater, by the way? Do you run this in
Oh.
Yeah, it lasts
Simulacrum?
for the entire
It doesn't
zone.
say it goes away, right? So let's say you
entire
got to
zone.
99.99999% EXP. The first mob you kill from the
Oh.
portals gets you Soul Eater, and you just go absolutely crazy and kill Uber Elder, and like you just one shot it in Gauntlet.
That would be cool. It would be really meme, but it would be
Oh
super
my
cool.
god, dude! I'm insane, dude. I'm gonna be a Gauntlet player this league. That's what I'm gonna do. I can kill a boss.
Okay, Chad, hold
That
him
would
to it.
require you to be able to
Don't
get
let
to
him
Uber
get
Elder.
away from that.
I'll never make it to Uber Elder anyways. Don't worry, guys.
What
No,
about
you're not
hitting
even
for a
gonna
slot?
log into the event. What are you talking about?
Man, Hinekora's log is gonna be like 5 million divines, isn't it? The one that allows you to see the outcome of a currency you will use. Or do you guys think this is not gonna be that good because it doesn't work with every crafting method?
No, I think it's going to be very good.
Can we skip this? Because I don't want to see foresee 1 to 3 in my chat. Can we skip this?
This is good, right? So you don't slam the 1 in 3.
Yeah, exactly.
So you like
He's
bless up
gonna
the item instead and check the next log, and it's 1 in 3 again.
He's gonna keep
Wow,
checking.
Manny,
Oh my
Manny,
god.
can you stop? You're giving me PTSD. But you know what, this new Omen? How are we gonna call Captain Chance? Like Captain Chance is not gonna exist anymore. He's not gonna make YouTube videos about how Chance.
Captain Chance never existed. Not my name.
Listen, he's gonna go to Chensing next patch. When they remove the omens again. So I wouldn't be worried. I don't know. I think the league mechanic is gonna be fun. Like, I think the tattoos are super fun. They will change how you actually make your skill tree, probably. I think the omens, like, some of them can be interesting. They're probably like a smaller thing. But the 15 new uniques, hopefully there's a lot of good stuff. We don't even talk about the belt or amulet. I don't know if there's much you guys want to talk about. The belt is just meme, right?
That's so bad.
The
They're
amulet,
really bad.
I think you could spam some mana flask for the amulet. Kinda like if people spend foreboding flask, right? So this is kind of similar, except it's instant. So you could like actually somehow gain a lot of charges and keep spamming, but
I don't see the amulet being that good. I think the belt could have been good if it was more than 1 mod. Like if it was like 3 random mods or something, and then you just calculate it for all the downsides, and you get all the upsides, or like a few upsides at one. But one of them at a time is kind of just.
and the upside is not even that good. It's just great.
It's so unusable.
Like if it was like some insane upside, sure, but these are not even good.
Yeah.
I mean, this one is just sad in my opinion. It's like -1 unique. They only releasing 14.
It's a cool idea, but it's you have to understand PoE uniques is just made by one guy, right? And he can only have so many good ideas.
Fair.
So, I mean, I give him props for trying, because at least it's like a unique, like an actual unique. But I think it's just a little bit undertuned for the game at the moment. By little, I mean like 5 times.
Well, other uniques that are making it to the game though is Sanctum uniques. Are you guys excited about those? I know I'm excited for like actually all of them.
My
am.
prediction here is it's actually going to be pretty hard. And people are going to be shocked how hard Sanctum is with like the changes they made. But hopefully I'm wrong. We don't really know how impactful the defenses are, right?
I think
I'm
base
kind of
Sanctum is
hoping
gonna
it's
be
really
fine.
hard. I like the challenge of like trying to make a character that can do it.
My guess is base Sanctum is gonna be fine, and unique relics are gonna be difficult. That's my guess on Sanctum.
Yeah. Unknown rooms is a pretty big downside.
I mean, I feel like getting original sin with like rares in Sanctum is gonna be insane.
And you have to full clear every zone now, right? Not just
Yeah,
the full clear
everywhere
zones.
has to die, right?
That's gonna be such a despair. You know how we used to skip the zones, and now you actually have to run through and clear them. I ran through them in Roofless like twice, and it was so miserable.
How was it okay that some zones you would just really enter, flame dash, and leave?
I mean, it was dumb. Don't get
the
me
zone
wrong.
was so bad.
But going from normal PoE to Roofless and having to run around the entire like default cathedral, whatever the zone was, it was so bad.
I played the first 3 weeks in Roofless, and when I realized in normal league you can actually just flame dash there, my mind was blown.
I mean, they have redone the rooms, right? So maybe they like rebalance everything, new rooms, new enemies. I think Sanctum's gonna feel like a new league mechanic pretty much.
I'm so excited.
I love Sanctum. Also, the uniques are so cool, all of them, except the stab. But
do you guys think it's going to be sustainable? I feel like based on the challenge relic, to me it seems like they're shooting towards semi-sustainable Sanctum.
I don't think it's going to be sustainable.
I mean, just buy them and they're sustainable, right?
No. I think it's going to be rare as fuck.
I think Lycia is going to drop a Sanctum like 30% of the time, and there's going to be 2 unique relics that do that, drop 2 additional tomes.
I think it's gonna be like, I think this one that they showed is like an exception to the rule. Like, I think they're gonna be pretty rare. Like, I am afraid they're gonna be as rare as memories.
Yeah, I think mathematically they get in Sanctum League. It was one Sanctum every 32 maps, right?
Yep.
It's gonna be has 10 times. It's gonna be like 1 in 300 maps. I feel like
I don't think
that
so.
rare.
I think like 1
all
in
the league
100.
mechanics. What's the chance for you spawning league mechanics in every single thing? I'm
I
pretty
mean,
sure
the
there's
ones
something
you
gonna
can
be on
invest
Atlas too.
into, you can spawn
Yeah,
very often.
I'm sure there's going to be investment, but I'm saying the base drop. It's going to be the same spawn rate as the other leagues, right? So if it's 32 maps for a full Sanctum, then you're going to have to do the spawn rate for a league mechanics times 32 maps. Is
So
what
that
the
would be
math
like
should
1
be.
in 60 maps if you can get, because most league mechanics you can get to like 50%. Depending if you like really
If with
focusing on it.
investment, if we have the investment, right?
We don't.
If we have it,
I don't know. I
already
feel
know
like
Atlas.
that's not really like some league mechanics became kind of more accessible after they became core.
Yeah, like heist,
like
right?
logbooks or like heist blueprints. Yeah.
I could be crazy, but I'm pretty sure at one point during them announcing this, they're like, we're introducing this as a new endgame alongside delve and mapping. Like, I swear that was the wording they used. Something
I think
like
you
that.
can actually chain. I feel like they would have to be so unrewarding, like so nerfed compared to Sanctum League if you could chain them forever.
yeah, you get so much currency from them. You wouldn't
I
even
think they're
go to the
balanced
map.
around difficulty and they're going to be cracked out of their mind. I'm full hopium.
But to be fair, there's no
doesn't matter.
sanctified relics in them anymore, which were
So
like a
it's
lot of the
only
reason to run them.
currency, yeah.
If you can chain Sanctums, you would just never run maps. Let's be honest.
That's what
Would
I'm
you
going to
ever
do.
run maps if you
I'm never
could
going to be in
chain
maps
Sanctums?
again.
I mean, you're gonna do that in SC trade. You can for sure. They're not
Maybe,
gonna
like-
be
Bro,
that rare.
you get so many divine orbs, dude, from Sanctums. It's
You
insane.
don't know. You don't
Like,
know if they change the rewards.
whatever. They're not gonna nerf anything. It's GGG. They only buff. They never nerf. Chris didn't come out and say we replaced the Sanctum rewards with filler rewards, so I feel safe.
How do you guys feel about the Sanctum innings?
No,
Like,
that would be the other way around. We've replaced the filler rewards with more meaningful rewards.
Oh no.
Oh, okay, sorry, Lance. You're right.
How do you guys think they will balance the rewards? Or sorry, the unique, like Alicia uniques. Like, what is gonna be the drop rate on the items? Let's get some prediction in.
Eternal Damnation 2%. They have to screw over all the hardcore SSF racers for Gauntlet. They 100% have to. It's in their blood. They're just out to get you guys. For the rest of us, they don't care. The helm is going to be super cheap. I think the jewels are going to be fun, and they're going to be super accessible. But yeah,
My
Eternal
prediction
Damnation,
is
2%.
like helmet 50%, jewels 50%, Eternal Damnation 2%, and the staff is still gonna be rare. Or they might make the staff like common for no reason. But
I think
Plus-
I think the drop rate's going to be unchanged, but Eternal Damnation will get nerfed to 2% next league.
really, you think they're gonna release Eternal Damnation with like 20% drop rate?
Yeah, I think they're going to release it unchanged. I don't think they should. I think it's way overpowered compared to, like, it's insane as an amulet, but
I mean, it's
I'm
a
full
sacrifice.
hopium.
It honestly, with 4 Vow into the game, it doesn't feel that OP anymore. Because 4 Vow is like similar strength or similar power level.
What is similar power?
4 Vow, the body armor that we use with Divine Flesh. It's pretty close. It's pretty close for elemental mitigation. And like body armor plus Legion Jewel investment is kind of less than body armor plus amulet in a way. For Jag, Eternal Damnation is going to be a lot better though. But for other classes, I think it's pretty close. I guess
Eternal Damnation just really good if you just toss it on.
that is
Yeah,
true.
Like,
You
you
don't
don't
need
need any
Lurweave, that's
synergy
fair.
ruling.
It's also, you don't need as much armor, so it's better on like Vage and Shadow and Templar, right? Than for Vow. For Vow is like really good on like Pathfinder Champion and whatnot and Jag. But on the like top side of the tree, you don't get as much armor.
I don't think they're gonna nerf the drop rate of these uniques very much, but I think the run itself is gonna be pretty rare.
Let's go.
Like I think you're only gonna get it like kind of like Rue said at the beginning, like 50 maps or something. Every couple of hours, maybe you'll find one of these, and they're gonna be pretty valuable. Like I don't know, a divine or something in trade.
Do you guys
to
think
get
there's
a
a
run going.
chance Licia doesn't drop a unique always?
Don't say that.
And like
Maybe if it's like really common, like if it's as common as Lens thinks it will be, where you sustain them and chain them like every 50 minutes you finish a Lucia, then hell yeah, it's gonna be nerfed like hell.
like there could be like a unique relic that guarantees a unique or something, right? Like I could see that. I don't know. Little afraid. Also a little afraid that they just buff the boss too. Like I'm
How about this? Maybe they make a special unique relic that is like rare and make some really hard run, kind of like the no-hit run, and that's the reward for Eternal Damnation.
no, can we not do that, please? I want my eternal damnation.
Then
Then they
get
would
ready to
have to
run your
nerf it at
50
least.
sanctums with your 2% drop rate prediction.
Yeah. I'm playing hardcore trade for a reason. I don't know. I think Sanctum being big is so cool. Like the uniques from Sanctum are so build enabling. All of them pretty much. Jewels are super cool. Jewels are kind of hard to fit in Trade League though, to be honest. But they are really cool and they
What
buff
do you mean hard to
certain builds
fit?
a lot.
They're great design. They're like watch your size for curses, right?
Yeah,
We
always
should have
fun to
had that
ID.
forever.
Then Sensor Visage, super cool for the skills that have like 4 or 5% crit chance, and then obviously Eternal Damnation.
Yeah, only the staff is weird.
The
The
staff.
stuff is so niche.
It was so rare
Yeah,
that I don't know. I feel like they're gonna make a common. Sorry, Ru. Go ahead.
Oh no, go for it. No, I was just saying, Lance, you really don't think they're gonna screw over like the hardcore SSF racers whenever they can get, whenever they can? I think that it's like on their like bucket list for every single unique that's really good.
I think that if they're going to balance the drop rates, Eternal Damnation has to be rare, and Sandstorm Visage and Balance have to be rare, but I don't think they're going to balance it this league. I think they're just reintroducing it with the same drop rates.
The thing is,
They
like,
already
doesn't
safely
every
balanced it?
unique need to be rarer then? Like, all the uniques are good. Like, are you gonna make the staff
Yeah,
90%?
that's the thing though. They have 4 uniques, they're all good, and we're not getting new uniques for Sanctum. So what, like,
The staff is not good.
Yeah, but they're
Is
not
the
gonna
staff
make the
good?
staff from 1% to 90% and everything else 1%.
Wait,
yeah, I don't think they're
do
going
you
to do
think?
that.
Wait. Oh no, the new Spellblade is one-hander. Whoa, I was about to say, wait, what if that? What if we can actually use the staff?
That would have been
But
cool.
it's one-hander.
That staff might be half of the reason why it's one-handers.
That's true. That's very true.
But yeah, it sounds like pretty much all of us are pretty excited about Sanctum, right?
For sure.
Log in.
Honestly, I feel like the new league mechanic is a similar vibe to Sanctum, where it's like completely disconnected from maps, right? Like a new side activity to do when you're bored. I like those.
And you drop it as coins, so you can just save it until you want to go do it. I
Yeah,
freaking love it.
I love
so
that
good.
part where you can save. Some people hate out of map mechanics, but I think out of map mechanics work fine if you don't have to do them after each X map.
Yeah, exactly.
And it feels less like you're stuffing everything just into the mapping pipeline. So it's like it has its own feel to it, which I think is nice as well.
What do you guys think about the new keystones? Any keystone you're particularly excited about?
Atlas, you mean?
Yeah, the Atlas keystones.
Oh, I could go on about this.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah, the quantity applies to rarity at triple value instead. Holy, that's gonna be interesting to see. Like, we don't even know how loot works when you have like 1,000 rarity on your map, right? I don't think we ever had more than like 400 or 500. But it could potentially be insane for unique magic finding. It would be awesome to see if unique magic finding was a bigger thing in Trade League too. I think like it's way more fun than hunting div cards.
I mean, it already is a thing in hardcore trade because there's so few uniques available. Like
Yeah.
Ben and Nick made so much money doing that. I think that keystone specifically is going to be really good on like fresh start SSF, right? When you want some uniques for your build, like it should be really good, but it will destroy your map.
We don't really know yet, right? Because giving up quantity, like the math might not work out in our favor that well.
Yeah, I guess that's possible. I guess it's like something that needs a lot of testing then, right?
Yeah, it could be good though. It could be the new magic finding strat for uniques over like these Keurig maps that I've been doing forever.
Any other keystones you're excited about, Manni?
Running every league mechanic every league now when we take the gateways, like that's an SSF player's wet dream, right? Every league we can now run Essence, Legion, whatever we want, Heist. Like that's pretty awesome. The Beyond thing also is gonna change MF meta quite a lot. Not just the keystone, but also the new Beyond nodes where you can have like more uniques drop from them or more div cards. And not, have the boss spawn after 10 seconds and lose the Beyond. Like, I think Beyond Sexton is gonna be meta this league for MF strats.
Lance, anything you are excited about? Like any of the Keystones?
Well, me for one, it's like Expedition. The only reason I don't click it is because I have to place down 5 separate things. I'm just annoyed doing it. But if I get to blow it up all at once, I don't have to wait for the chain reaction. It just smooths it out, and now it's a thing I can click. And I know Expedition's really rewarding. So it's like Keystone like that. It just feels good. Just click it. Don't invest into it necessarily. But now when I see Expedition, I don't freaking just walk past it. And then like the other stuff, I think it's just like ultimatum aspect means the ultimatum uniques are going to be like actually accessible a lot
Those are
more
super fun.
because
the
right now
whole-
the reason sorry
Sorry, go ahead.
the reason freaking ultimatums are so expensive is because it's limited to the drop rate of however many you can get from incursion or delve, and it's like a lot lower volume compared to people running like a Zeri or whatever it is. So I don't know, stuff like that I'm excited for.
Really?
I'm
Any
curious
Keystone?
about Vault Zone in general. Sorry to come in, but they thought that fit that pretty well because they reworked Vault Zones quite a lot, right?
Yeah, they changed
They
how
could
the
actually be
rewards are
kinda
gonna
fun.
work, right? Completely, basically, because they had like they like have like completely different set of mods for them. I think that can roll now.
Yeah, there
Yep.
could be a lot of stuff that we don't even know yet.
Also, there's 3 unique side zones.
Yeah,
Guys, can I sidetrack us for 1 minute?
Yeah.
Soul Thirst, tattoos, blunderbore, goal, 1,000 movement speed and attack speed and cast speed. Anybody want to log in?
Have you been thinking about soldiers the entire time ever since you saw the tattoo? It sounds like it. I mean, I don't blame you though. It sounds really fun.
Dude, 200% more cast speed with Soul Thirst with like the whole entire map. You're gonna literally like, oh my god, it's gonna be insane. It's gonna be insane.
I think I feel like at some point you get too fast and it doesn't feel like a meaningful upgrade.
On Flickr, it does though, right? Because you're just holding right click and you don't really pay attention on what's going on. I've seen some insane
Lance-
Flickr.
Lance is starting to sound like a ruthless player.
No, like I'm just saying, I at one point did the freaking reverse poison. I forget when this was a thing, but I had a build with like 700,000 move speed or whatever, and it was just like it just felt bad to play. It was too much. Like it was uncontrollable.
I mean, it's more about the duration of the whole thing, right? So it never actually falls off.
Yeah. I think it could be cool. I mean, I want to try it. I mean, we always, I like to try these like super fast builds, whatever. I can't play them for forever, right? But for like a week or something, it's pretty enjoyable. You just go around zooming. I'm pretty sure a lot of people like playing it for a week, and then we just go back to playing like Molten Strike or something, right?
The one I am excited for a lot of people might find boring, but it's the Maven thing. I hope Maven farming is actually worth it because it's really
I'm
nice
really
in
glad they did
hardcore.
that.
Like
Yeah,
I
like
hope
that
it's
too.
competitive to like obviously it's not gonna be competitive if you are juicing, but if you are boss rushing, like doing low investment maps, farming like essences or something, I hope it's good enough to click now.
Yeah, and it makes semi like slower builds that are like not as good for clearing and better for single target. Like let's say like Hex Blast Miner. I think it makes them
I-
it's better for their currency generation, right?
Excuse
Stuff
you?
like that.
My Hex Blast Mine is gonna be faster than whatever you're making. I guarantee freaking it.
Well, not if he makes the
It's a
soldiers
joke. It's a joke.
flicker.
It's a joke. There's no way. There's no way your Hex Blast Miner is faster than like some Pathfinder Exsanguinate build that blows up the whole screen with one
Dude,
cast and do like 250 movement speed. It's just
well,
like it's
well,
not.
check back with me day 3. I'll look at your build. You look at my build. We'll compare
have-
notes.
Do you have my stream opened, Ru?
Yeah, I do.
Let me
I
show
have
you.
stream open.
Let me show you your POV next week, okay? Maybe even better than this. This is how it's gonna
Let me
look.
see. Let me see.
Showed him the Simply Business Flicker Strike.
Yeah, of course. Okay, I don't know about the ZP test. That was probably a fucking FizzDR. Okay, this is a bad example. Wait till he's like actually ramped up. This is you next week for a week straight. You really want to do this?
Anybody have the tuna flicker from last league? The tuna flicker from last league was really good. I'm thinking about doing something like that.
Is that when he had like
Who
the
had-
distance, like flicker range or
let
whatever?
me show you. Someone link it to Ventrua. Someone link the tuna flicker to Ventrua.
Oh, is that a
man, he
shrine
hasn't
clip?
seen
I
it.
think I saw that. I think I saw like a tuna in shrine or something clip. That looked impressive. I don't
Someone
know
link
if
it to
that's the one you
Ventrua so we
mean.
can see it on stream. It was cracked. It was good. I was like, damn, if I didn't care about loot, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Someone link it to Ventrua so we
Ah.
can watch it.
There's an example of it. Quicker strike, but good by crouching tuna.
Oh yeah, look at this. This is the juice. Oh, that is the juice, dude.
I feel like I would get
GX2.
motion sickness. Oh, Sanctum.
Oh yeah, that's the juice, boys. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he's done with the map. He's fucking done.
Okay, it looks so cool. Like it's one of those things
He's
that
fucking
looks
done.
cool
Boys.
for 5 minutes and then you never want to play it again.
This
Yeah.
is true. Because you can't even loot, right?
Yeah.
But
When you
go back
say
and
that,
loot.
but then you see XP bar go up and you keep playing.
Oh yeah, speaking of XP bar Manni, what do you think of the new keystone? That new keystone is actually insane for our SSF
The June
XP.
one?
Yeah, the Master
Yeah.
Mission one.
And I saw that we did the math on it. Like it's something like 50% more June missions, right? If I did my math correctly, or
yeah,
my
like
guess is correct.
40-50% more June missions. Like it's gonna be huge for XP push in SSF.
The
Yeah,
mastery keystone or something else?
It's a keystone that makes it so your masters, you don't get master missions, but you get masters spawned randomly in your
They
maps.
spawn more often or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you do like 100 push or 100 race in SSF, you don't even wait for the missions anyway. You just run them as soon as you can most of the time. So there's basically no downside. You just get more masters, more Junes, more safe houses.
do you guys
So
still
what you're
race
saying is I
the-
should auto click that on my tree to start off with because I want to run June no matter what, anyways.
Probably not because it bricks
Pretty
your
much.
Kirak. You won't Kirak early on.
I mean,
Kinda.
a bit later maybe you click it, yeah.
Also, the problem is like
I feel like I only use Carrick for a couple white maps resets and then have a 100% connected map by that point.
it's a lot better if you're running white and blue maps where you are not scared of like June spawning. When the June spawns in like double damage haze crit map, like do you really want to see that?
Well, I'm not playing hardcore, so I can die
I mean,
a time or two.
I guess.
Pretty much whenever you would want to run the mission as soon as you get it anyways, then this is just a no-brainer pick pretty much.
It's also nice if you spend a little bit of Nico for like packed with energy. Like it's like 2 points, right? And you just get some extra move speed every time Nico procs. That's pretty good too. So you could like do a hybrid of Nico plus June or something.
That's a good point. But you can't do it with Wandering Path, though. Can't do it early if you want to push.
That's true.
Does the math work out with Wandering Path if you can't get the 100% increase June?
We did a map and I'm pretty sure it was better than not be Wandering Path if you wanted Junes.
Okay.
I'm not like I'm not 100% sure. I would have to look at it again. Alright, what do you guys think of the Harvest Keystone? Someone reminded me of that. We just don't know what's the chance to upgrade it tier.
Yeah,
right?
that fully depends on the chance, right?
Could be realistic if it was a good way to farm tier 4s.
I appreciate the effort to make Harvest more fun by actually like thinking. Like you're gonna enter the Harvest and you're actually gonna do like a strat in your head. I'm gonna do this one first and then this one and try and upgrade this one the most, you know?
There's
Make
no
it a
way
bit more
you do
engaging.
that, right? There's like no way you actually do that.
I mean,
I think
do
it's
you
going to
know?
be good. I feel like you're going to end up having like multiple. Like you're going to be able to get a plant to a bunch of T4s, right? If you have enough plots.
Is there a sextant that adds a plot?
You can have 4 plots max, but you have a 10% chance to not wilt. So you can potentially upgrade 6 times before you do the last one. I gave 6 upgrade possibilities in a perfect scenario. Which means you might get like 5 tier 4s or 10 tier 4s or something maybe. But that will never happen. It's like 1 in 1,000.
It kind of improves
it
farming
happened.
like one type of juice without a sextant, right? Where like let's say you want yellow juice, you do everything that's not yellow first, and then you do the yellow last.
Exactly.
That doesn't affect much with sextants though, or not as much at least.
Yeah, well, if you want to guarantee, if you do the guaranteed yellow sextant, for example, this would be terrible because then you would always upgrade the other ones only, right? Because you want to do the yellow.
Yeah.
I hope it has decent chance and it's actually worth using though.
I mean, but that's gonna balance out the prices for harvest seeds, right? So it's not like one is like super expensive and the other two is gonna be super cheap in trade league settings.
It's still
I guess
gonna
you're
go.
underestimating the gamblers of PoE. I think yellow's still going to be expensive.
Yeah.
But now they could just farm yellows nonstop.
I mean, they already kind of could, right?
I think yellow's still going to be more expensive.
It doesn't change too much, Rue, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll see. We'll see what the chance is. If it's like something like crazy,
I hope it's good.
what is your
I do hope it's good.
But you could do yeah, someone in chat just said you could do the non-yellow sextant and then just hope a yellow random spawns and do that one last, right? And you're still gonna get double life force from it. Because it doubles all life force, not just the non-yellow one.
Oh.
Could be good maybe.
Yeah.
Because basically it ramps up the juice you get per plot, right? And most of your juice is gonna come from the last plot.
Yeah.
So as soon as there's one yellow in there, as long as there's one yellow in there, you're gonna be fine.
That's really
You
cool
don't
for
even need to use the yellow
SSF,
sextant.
right? Because I mean, it makes
Sure.
the other sextants more useful.
But that yellow has to roll with like. Oh no,
All spawn with tier 1s only. But then you would do that one yellow last, right? And hope it upgrades enough. But obviously we have to check the numbers. Maybe the numbers could just suck and this is never worth. And it's all about the upgrade chances.
Yeah. I mean, then the purple and blue sextant, it's gonna be like pretty good, right? I'm doing that first. Farm all my yellow shit first before everyone catches up. Get rich. Okay, got it.
Oh, I think it's time we close it up. Let's go around the table and ask what everyone is league starting, what league, what build, and whatnot. So let's start with the cat. What are you planning for league start, Drew?
Huh?
Huh? What are you planning for league start? I mean, obviously SC trade,
I am
which build?
planning to do whatever I find on PoB that's good after they release the support gems. I want to do Ignite Melee. I'll see if Impending Doom or Fireburst could be good with the new supports. Like whatever is good, whatever looks fun, Corrupting Cry, whatever, I'm doing it. I don't care. I've played most of the league starters that exist in the game too many times already, or just uninterested in playing them due to like 2 buttons or whatever. So I just want to find something new and fun.
Makes
And
sense.
I'm not a cat. I'm a human being.
And playing new builds is always fun, right? What is Lance planning, Lance?
I mean, I usually do just something random and new and just YOLO it, and then it usually turns out okay. I think this is the first league where I'm actually going to like semi do something that I think is kind of like try hard because I want to get to Sanctum as fast as possible. And I think Sanctum's going to be a lot harder. So I think I need a good build. And that's why I'm going to go Hex Blast because I think Hex Blast is S tier for Sanctum.
You still leveling with Pyroclast mine, or are you going straight?
Yeah. I'm doing Pyroclast and swapping into Hex Blast because Hex Blast you need basically a curse on hit, which is just a little bit annoying to get early on. It like forces you into something stupid like a Dread Arc, and I don't want to do that. I'd rather just have a smooth leveling, not have to trade. Like if trade's down, I'm up a creek without a paddle if I'm starting Hex Blast. So
What are the chances you change your plans to play RF right before league start?
it's almost 0% chance. Usually when I change my plans, it's because we actually get like some new stuff, new balance. You know, they released the freaking footage of Val Shot, and I'm like, oh, that looks sick, and it makes me want to like try something. But
you're almost guaranteed to want to try something right now, right? There's 12 new supports. We're gonna come up with something, right? I don't believe
I tell you what I'm gonna want to try is Sacrifice on my second build, but Sacrifice. I need good gear to pull it off.
There's
I
no
can't do
way
it.
all the brains and PoE put together can't make something really good, or a lot of things that are really good with 12 new supports. I don't believe it. There's too many good minds in this game, right?
What about Manni? What bow build are you gonna play?
So yeah, I'm gonna league start a lightning arrow bow guy and try to show make it work after the Ventrua Cascade nerfs and see how far we can go there. But I have a plan or like a challenge for myself to play different builds this league. I want to play a build I haven't played before on each class, so like 7 characters in total before the league's over. So I'm gonna steal some builds from you guys, hopefully, if you can come up some good stuff early on while I'm playing just another Deadeye.
I mean, we'll try. I mean, I'm playing trade this week, so I'm planning to hopefully try out stuff that I can't really normally do in SSF. Stuff with like Indigon, stuff with Astral Projector, Void Forge. So basically just like the uniques that are annoying to farm in SSF. Or like Volt Exegriff that I want to build around. Probably will start with something basic. I mean, I'm probably starting Ignite Elementalist. Most likely DD, unless the Spellblade support is good. Then I would probably play like Wave of Conviction. But I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun this league just because I haven't played most of the trade league builds. So I think I will enjoy it. And I hope you guys will too.
Did you enjoy doing softcore trade this league or not really?
I kind of enjoyed playing it, but I didn't enjoy streaming it. I don't know. It's just I don't like trading in SC trade on stream. It's just annoying. I don't know why. Not for me.
Nobody, Ventrua, nobody likes trading on stream.
Man,
We're
hardcore trade
having
is so
fun, we're
different
laughing,
though.
and then
Yeah,
it's
hardcore trade
just,
people respond to trade.
Yeah, and instead of TFT, we use like trade one. It's so different.
yeah, I guess.
But then we don't have anything for sale, so.
Remember the days when I used to stream softcore trade? I would usually trade for like hours off stream, just so then during the stream I don't have to trade at all, really. And I don't like to do that anymore. One of the reasons I'm in SSF now. So much work.
You don't do that anymore, Manny. Like back then, where you had to juice maps and you had to trade for a lot of stuff. Now it's like a lot better. You don't have to trade for nearly as long. You don't have to buy all these freaking. It takes. There's too many people who
Yeah.
have like bulk
Just like
things.
TFT bulk trading, all of that, it didn't exist back in the days. If I wanted like some essences to craft, I would buy like 5 essences at a time for an hour.
Yeah, now
That
you can
kinda
buy
shit.
thousands if you have the money, right? So it's kind of
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's time for me to come back soon.
Next league, trade league?
Maybe.
I mean, you don't have that much else to do in SSF, right? And you can always start SSF later. I mean, that's why I kind of want to start hardcore trade, because I know I can just league start hardcore SSF later.
Yeah, that's true. If you're playing multiple leagues and always play trade leagues first before they're like, well, they're still hype, right? And
yeah. And they
The economy's
after they
screwed.
die, you can do whatever. Anyways, good chat, guys. Like you, love you guys.
Yeah.
Hope you guys have good leagues.
all right, meow.
I'll probably see you guys in chat once in a while or
Good
whatever.
chat. That was fun. Is anyone streaming after this, by the way?
I am, but I don't know, and I'm just there's all memers in my chat, so
Can we get some Garf spams in there, please? Everyone, Garf?
no Garfs. Guys, Garfs are banned. If you Garf, you're banned. Don't do it.
Yo, Lance, are you streaming after this or
No, I got stuff I gotta do.
Okay, thanks guys for joining. It was fun. It was fun to talk to you, and I feel like I learned some stuff from you guys. It's always nice to learn some new stuff, new ideas.
Same.
Fun to talk about ideas, and well, hopefully we'll get to XDD chatting about the new gems tomorrow, since I don't think they are coming today. But
They're
hopefully the
coming
new
today.
gems are tuned well.
I'm not turning off stream until they come out. GGG, listen to my voice. I'm sitting here
24-hour stream,
my
confirmed.
mother effing gems. Do it now.
I think it's gonna be a 48-hour stream.
Well,
He's done
Do
for.
it now. No, they literally tweeted today, latest tomorrow.
yeah, 24 hours from now we get gem. I mean, it's gonna be a nice stream, bro.
Oh, dude, it's coming now, dude. It's coming now, dude. Guys, what time does usually the information gets released?
Well,
I mean, they just did tattoos.
when the tattoos get released, that was the chance for our gems, but we got tattoos instead, which is still cool.
No, the gems are coming. They didn't post twice already. The gems are coming.
But keep coping, keep coping.
What's the second one?
But
Yeah,
thanks for
whatever.
talking, guys. I'll talk to you in Twitch chats probably and whatnot.
Who linked this? You fucking banned.
Oh wait, what is that?
Thanks for having me, Ventrua.
Oh,
It was
it's
fun.
a cat. Yeah, thanks for joining, Lance. It was fun talking to you.
Yeah, thanks for the podcast. See you guys.
See you, Manni.